Oh shoot. Welcome back, Wavesa. And today, well, I kind of just, it's been a lazy day at school. Finished all the homework. Haven't had a video time. So I figured that I'd just do a live stream and stick around and entertain. I've got a whiteboard behind me, which means that I'll be able to, I don't know, draw Tau stuff or something. I kind of figured I'd do that while I waited for people to show up because I kind of wanted to get a wide variety of input and opinions on everyone's take on how the new detachments are working, whether they're working well, whether they're working poorly. Because I haven't played as many games as I wish I could have, mostly for being at school, in order to get a good idea on what they're all like. So currently, I've only played a game with with the retaliation cadre and the Montcalm detachment. So I was just curious. Like, feel free to pop your opinions in the chat of what you think the different detachments are doing, if they're doing well or if they're doing poorly for you, et cetera, et cetera. And any of the battle reports that you've seen with the new detachments and how they're working out. Because recently, gosh, any of you guys know Play on Tabletop? Probably one of the best cinematic channels out there. They had like a whole week this past week of Townick going through all the different detachments, and it looked like he mostly got his teeth kicked in every single game, which is kind of disappointing. I most recently watched the one when he had the Townar against the Black Templars using the Cayenne detachment, and it just felt very lackluster. Like we got all our new toys, and then we just didn't do anything terribly impressive with it, which is kind of sad. So, anyways, I'll be coming out with a video soon for any of the people that don't want to actually watch the live stream. And the video is going to be of my first actual game with the new detachment. And I played, it was on Easter against my little cousin. And he had Space Marines, and I had my Tau, obviously. And the points were really jank because we were using the ones from the codex. And I think a lot of things were very highly overcosted. So I ended up having a broadside. Uh, Breacher team and some crisis suits with a cold star against. Oh, howdy. Hello, Edward Bailey. Welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, hey, Philip, good evening. Good to see you. Currently, the time zone that I'm in, for any of you who are curious, it is it is 4:47, not 5:47, 4:47. So it's a little bit into the evening. I remember last time we did this, we had people from a lot all over the world, and I was kind of impressed. They were tuning in like 2 or 3 a.m. or midnight. It's crazy stuff. So welcome from whatever time zone you're in. I'm just hanging out, and if anyone wants to pop in any thoughts on the new detachments, how it's been working out for them, I'd love to hear. I was just telling my story about how I just got my first game with the new detachments. I got completely demolished by my younger cousin. He's a cute kid. He's a wonderful kid, but pretty much for me, it is 23. Right? Germany. Oh wow! Well, out in Germany, so it's close to midnight for you. It's like 11:48. That's crazy. That is pretty far out. Where is everyone else from? I see we got 6 here, so I'm willing to just sift through see where everyone's tuning in at, or if there's like a better time you think I should do it, like earlier in the day. But anyway, so I was playing my little cousin here, and he had like an impulsor. From Utah, I'm about to play Montcalm today. I'm excited to run Vespid Stinglings. When that? Oh, that is awesome! I love Vespids. My first Vespid models I got were these really old metal ones. Best of luck on the Montcalm attachment, because I was looking at that and it kind of makes me worried to take it because in order to be guided, you get assault when you're guided, but in order to be guided, you have to be eligible to shoot. So if you advance your unit, depending on the unit that you're using, you're gonna have to sacrifice some of your I'd assume drones that you're attaching to certain units to give them gun drones. So if you want your broadsides to be able to run up, I like advance, then I think you have to take a gun drone on it so they're actually eligible to be guided so that they can actually shoot, which would give them the assault ability on all their guns, and then lethal hits, et cetera, et cetera. So it seems like it's not that big of a deal, to be completely honest, having like 2 less missile drone or shots or 1 less wound on your broadsides in order to give them more mobility. No one is going to play like that. It's insane. Fair enough. Fair enough. I know I personally won't, but I think it's definitely a good move for in a like an AdMech player Thursday using WTC train. Nice. How'd you beat him so bad? Okay. Also, I don't really know what the different terrain things are. Like, what does WCT terrain, WTC train mean? Like, is it just like I've watched a bunch of guys and they talk about the different terrain formats. Like at the game store that I play at, we just grab a bunch of terrain off the tables. Like a lot of it's just custom made and stuff from all the guys, and we just throw it up miscellaneously. And we're like, oh yeah, this looks kind of even. Let's throw some dice. Might not be the most competitive, so might not be the most knowledgeable as far as terrain features go. I check that. Real excited for the Kroot detachment. Just got my box delivered. Oh, that's awesome, Phil. That's great. I'm hyped for it too because okay, if any of you guys tuned into the last live stream that I did, I have this prediction that we will actually be able to do mass infantry spam better than any of the other armies that can do it, like better than guard. That's been my whole thing. If any of you guys know who Morty and Glory is, wonderful YouTuber, very good on the battlefield as far as all the reports I've seen of him. Very good with his guard, but he always boasts his mass infantry. And I have been dying to get mass Tau infantry in order to beat his. And I think that with the Kroot detachment, like we will be able to be a horde army, like as a genuine horde army, because we'll be able to field 6 squads of 20-man Kroot. Assuming the points go down, it'll be a bit more likable, like usable for us. And not to mention all the different shenanigans and redeploy things that we can have with it, because there is a warlord trait that you can give people, like give one of your Kroot HQs, and that gives them the ability to like pick up. It gives them the ability to have the Dark Strider ability of deny deep strike within 12 inches. So if you take him like a Kroot with that warlord trait and Dark Strider, you have 2 deny 12 inches of deep strike bubbles, and like you can screen out just about everybody. So it's just going to be absolutely insane to get that to work. So it'll be pretty dang cool. Not to mention like the general buff that the detachment gives all of your Kroot is phenomenal as far as like the invuln saves, because it's really what like hurt the Kroot not being able to stay on the board much. It's like a better Wa. That's how I like to look at it. Like the Wa, your orcs get a 5-up invuln for 2 turns, but no, the Kroot get it all game round. And then once they're in melee combat, they have a 6-up invuln, which isn't as good, but it's still pretty good, pretty nice. World Tournament circuit. I think so far amount of line of sight blocking in. Oh yeah, L-shaped runes and train and stuff. Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of Art of Wars, and they always have the weird L-shaped ruin looking things. And I don't know, they had 2 that were really close together at one point in time. You know what? I got a marker and a whiteboard. So once I was watching one of their games, and I saw that they had like this, but there was only actually like terrain here and here, and they had another one like this, but there was only like terrain here and here, and somehow they could like have Dark Strider sit here, like in this little spot, and like there was a bunch of like Custodes out here who could clearly see him, but like because the little terrain pieces were touching, it didn't really matter. So I don't know. It seems a little odd to me. Besides the point. So where was I? Oh yes, Mass Kroot detachment. Okay, has anyone played with the rampagers yet? Because I'm looking at them, and they remind me a lot of the demons, like skull crushers or like blood crushers or whatever they're called. Like they're on the mounts. They've got like the little rhino horn, and they've got the blood letters riding them. They remind me a lot of them with their like charge in, roll for all the impact hits to get all the mortal wounds spilled onto your enemies, and then they're pretty good at like just wiping chaff out of the way. So, like looking at that, and it makes me think that our best way to go about using them would probably be like shoving them up, like depending on the kind of army you're against. If you're against a shooting army, throwing them into the center and then giving them the strat where they are untargetable, like the lone op strat for a big squad of them, so that they can't be shot at by all the guns available. Not to mention their toughness and wounds count is pretty dang good for what they are, so they'd be pretty viable in that department. And then after that, getting up nice close into grips with your enemies. But if you're up against a more melee focused army, I have to say that you would want to like keep them waiting in the wings and like have them be like a take objective back unit, like a punch back hard, kind of like if you were to have like your Kroot be up on an objective, but your breachers are waiting in the wings. So like when someone kills your Kroot off, you move your breachers up and they completely decimate all of your opponent's like guys that just killed all of your Kroot off the objective. You could do that, but with the rampagers, where you have them waiting off in the wings, like the Kroot get knocked out by whatever comes to take off the objective, and then you send the rampagers up and completely wipe. I just have a little bit of a trading game, and we've got pretty cheap guys. Like they're not too terribly expensive, so it's a nice cheap trade. It's a little getting used to the rampagers and half bad bully unit. Yeah, they're not half bad bully unit. I had a homie that played the Kroot rampagers are good, but overcosted in the books. Yeah, he brought almost 109 Kroot infantry. Their opponent ended up killing, oh my gosh, 112 Kroot infantry. That is nuts. I assume that it's because he used this paid the strat to bring them back, just to have the never-ending waves. Yeah, yeah, that is shoot. Like, dang, there's got to be a cheaper way to go about this because like the horde spam, I think could be very useful and very good, but I don't know. Like, this is how I look at the Kroot. Like the Kroot, I view in the Kroot detachment at least. TCB strat is huge. Yeah, it's just like the guardsman. Like whenever I see the Kroot, I think like these are our Guevesa auxiliaries, and they're just better guardsmen all around, especially in their detachment. So if you compare them against the basic infantry guys, I'm pretty sure they're just the normal infantry squad. They have sticky objectives, and the Kroot have sticky objectives. So we've got that cleared. When you compare them against the Catachans get an extra strength and AP on the charge. I think it's strength and AP. I could be wrong. Might be strength and attack. And then what happens is we have I upgrade that whiteboard. What after that? Then like we have an extra strength and extra attack than the Catachans do, so we're better than them in that department. And then against the Kriegers, they get +1 to hit when their unit is down 1, and +1 to wound when it's below half. So for the Kroot, when you injure an opponent, you get +1 to hit, and then when you take them down below half, you get +1 to wound. So like in their detachment, they're like a superior form of uh, guardsmen. At least that's kind of how I view them. And not to mention they have the 2 CP strat to bring them back. So if we were to look at them kind of in that like sense, this could very much be a like also they have the 5-up invuln, like which the guard can't boast. The guard have a 5-up save natively. Sure, they can have orders and stuff to make it better, but like they can't just die in the wind pretty easy. But a 5-up invuln at range makes them uh, very much more durable. And on top of that, we have stealth. So anything that shot at us, it will be -1 to hit. So the Kroot in their detachment are very good, but the issue is I think they're just still overcosted because the average guardsman squad is anywhere from 60 to 70 points, whereas the Kroot are like last I checked like 80 something ridiculous. I remember watching Morning Glory After Action Report where he took 365 infantry to a tournament and lost 201 turn. Oh my gosh, years ago. That's crazy. Yeah, 85 for 10. 85 points for like 10 Kroot. Like that's pushing like strike team level of stuff in the codex. Yeah. Like the strike teams were what? Like they were 80 points last points go around. They were 80 points. And then the breachers were 90. They think that giving Kroot sticky objectives is going to push them up into like the points range of like the strike teams and the breachers. No, I don't think so. They're just not that like they're good, but they're just not that good. They're not so good that you have to have like them be the exact same points as the Fire Warriors, who have a better save and a better gun, and like just actually have AP on one of the Fire Warrior units. No. I think after a little bit, the points will be cut a lot more on them. Though I do have to say that their the Trail Shaper model, he is going to be very big as far as redeploying in general. For like even like that will pretty much be like a must take, like him and the Far Soccer Kin band. For any of you guys who watch, Pantheon Studios, I think, and what's his name, like the Pure Tide program, Kyle Grundy. Like if you guys watch any of them, as far as yeah, and these books written months ago, yeah, the books were written months ago, yeah, woohoo, oh boy, all the time and preparation just to get to when the release comes, and it's not actually that good. But these other competitive guys, they're coming up with a lot of very interesting things. But I'm not really much for the competitive scene. I like the more fun, fluffy things to do. Because like, sure, it's all well and good that you can hem your opponent in really easy, but I just don't. I don't see the point in going all out as hardcore as possible. I like the fluffy route, like with just spamming my crisis suits. And some people might say that's really competitive, but I don't know. I don't find to be too terribly competitive, mostly because they're really squishy. I think like a crisis suit spam might be a thing, but it'll be reasonable because 2/3 of them lost their invulns. Yeah. Lunch break is over. Hope the stream goes well. Thank you. Have a good one, Frog Ramen. Frog Ramen, quite the name. I'll probably be here for a while, a couple hours or so, assuming that you guys want to hang out and talk different stuff. Anyways, I'm sorry, I've been talking much. We got 10 people on the stream now, so please, guys, let me know what has been your favorite detachment that you've played with, because I found mine to be the retaliation cadre, mostly because I love my battle suits, and I find that the extra strength and AP really up the lethality and usability. Mont-Ka. Okay, tell me why Mont-Ka, because I just don't. I don't know. It feels too like I understand why you would use Mont-Ka as far as good mobility goes, but like the lethal hits as far as the special ability attached to the detachment, like it just doesn't feel right. Like sustained hits, sure, like from Kayun, like turn 3 on, like it just feels so much more powerful. I've only played the Kroot at those points. I do think Montcalm might end up being my favorite. Gotcha. Fair enough. But like lethal hits, guys, like I don't know. I don't know how to feel about lethal hits. It's like devastating wounds would feel way more Montcalm. Then again, it might be way too overpowered. But like we having we just like I don't know. I don't know because there's a lot of cool abilities that come about from critical hits or like oh gosh, getting crits from like the Cadre Fireblade with his like if you wound on a 6, then you get AP -3. It just feels like there's more like a lethality that comes about from having a wound roll. I understand that we can just bypass a lot of that by having just hitting automatic, like just wounding automatically off the hit. So I just can't. I don't know how to square it. It's not about the lethal hits, but the stratagem enhancements. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. As far as stratagem enhancements go, I can't really argue with that one. Wait, yeah, most excited for Kroot. I fell in love with her lore design. Yep. I heard there's a lot of fun lore. As far as if any of you guys watch, there's this really cool Kit Basher. He's like that Kroot guy, I think, on YouTube. Tons of very impressive Kroot Kit Bashes. Love his stuff. Really great. He did a video just the other day delving into the lore that was found in the codex. I feel I don't critical mass about suits to make the most retaliation cadre. The Mont God gives army more tools with strats overall. That is fair. That is fair because yeah, the retaliation cadre. There's really no point in bringing anything else other than battle suits. Like the other things that you would want to bring would be impressive guiders, like your pathfinders. But as far as the battle suit detachment goes, you're already pretty well covered when you use your stealth suits. And I can't really say I can complain too much with that because you just have 3 squads of stealth suits and Shadow Sun. That's a lot of guiders right there, and giving the reroll 1s to hit and wound is very, very powerful. But for a more wide variety of tools in your toolbox, I can completely understand as far as the Mont-Cod attachment goes. And one thing that I did really like about the Mont-Cod attachment that they recently came out with was that you can have your breachers jump, like anything that jumps out of the transport, any infantry, I'm pretty sure it said, not just your breachers. But you could have it so that they get full rerolls to wound when attacking any unit. They don't need to be on the objective, which sounds great to me because, like, that was one big thing that hindered the breachers a bit, I do have to say. Like, at least the breacher fish, it's just like, okay, you know that they're coming your way. So my opponents would not get on the objective. They'd be like, okay, we're going to sit back and the breachers will roll up. We'll get hit, but we're not going to be hit that hard. So then we can move up on our own turn and completely wipe them out. So I do have to say I feel you as far as the Mont-Cod attachment goes in their buffs and abilities already. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Just maybe we can screen share, assuming my computer won't overheat. All right, here we go. Share screen. Window. Okay. Just a window. Okay. Yep, we're gonna share. Here we go. Haha! Oh gosh, that looks crazy. Anyways, okay, hold up. This is where I found the codex leaks because I do not own it and I did not have the money to spend on what was it? Getting the new Kroot box set. Oh, never mind. We'll wait till this loads in. Oh, c'est la vie. So, anyways, so my first taste of the of my game, of the first game I had, was against my little cousin, and I rolled up with a bunch of I rolled up with broadside, some crisis suits with a cold star. First time I ever had a cold star ever in the game, but it ended up not mattering because we played on this tiny little table because it was like less than 500 points and a breacher squad. And then he brought an impulsor with heavy intercessors in it, led by an apothecary. I just let him use the normal apothecary because, like, he's a kid. I'm not about to tell him that no, you can't use the models you brought. And then he had a little dreadnought and a tech marine. Oh, and some outriders. So I really felt like the points were really out of whack and not properly done because I had 4 units and he had like 6. So it just felt very much at a deficit for using the new codex points. But what happens is he wins the roll off and he's got his. Actually, I can draw it up and find the marker. There it is. All right. I know, the most formal of all live streams. Most professional. So this is how it kind of went. So we played a game is I come with him because I'm just getting him into the game. It's called like Capture the Quarter. So he's got his guys set up on one side, and I have my guys set up on the other side. And what I do with him is there's a quarter in the center, and he gets the quarter at the end of the game because it's fun. And it's a king of the hill, pretty much. So whoever holds it at the end of 5 turns wins. And what happens is he wins the roll off because he always does. I tell you, I've never beaten this kid in the game ever before in my life. And I know, like, you want to let your like younger siblings and cousins and stuff like win games because it makes them feel good about it. But in my experience, like you can't really let them win this game, mostly because you roll dice, so you don't really know. But he always just destroys me in this. So he gets first turn and moves his outriders up. So they're sitting here. He moves this up a slight bit, and these guys a slight bit too. But he shoots into my guys, and absolutely nothing happens. And after that, I'm like, okay, the Guardian drone with the Breacher squad is very powerful. If I could ever find a way to angle this better. There we go. The -1 to wound, like I can't express how good I made it so that it was very hard for anyone to actually hurt the Breacher. So at the end of my turn, I only lose 2 Breachers. And in response, oh shoot, I mixed this up. The Impulsor is supposed to be down here, and the Tech Marine and the Dreadnought are supposed to be up there, besides the point. So I run forward with my Crisis Suit squad to take on his Dreadnought, to take on his Impulsor with all the guys in it. I run my Breachers up to take on all the Outriders. And then I have my broadside stay where it is in order to shoot at the Dreadnought and Tech Marine that are coming up to get rid of them. Because I know that if he gets into melee against me with this, it's going to be a pain in the neck. But from here, I end up killing off his Outriders. So the center is pretty well open. And I don't do anything to this or this. My broadside completely whiffs. This makes me completely hate broadsides because I fired the seeker missiles and I fired the railgun all into this dreadnought. And I took a grand total of 2 wounds off this thing. It was completely worthless, completely worthless. So I end up having my crisis suits charging the impulsor, trying to wrap it up because I don't want to have to deal with it, all the heavy intercessors. I was hoping to circle it so we could trap it in, and but that doesn't happen. I didn't get high enough charge, and I've got to worry about this guy coming down from here and moving up. So on his turn, he does what you'd obviously expect. He runs up this way with his dreadnought and his tech marine, and he takes out all of his heavy intercessors. So he once again shoots at my breachers, but it doesn't do anything. Like he's knocked down 3 guys. So over the total of like 2 full shooting turns against these guys, I've lost 5. Been a good time. But he moves up his dreadnought and his tech marine, and he charges them right into my crisis suits, completely just obliterating 2 of them off the bat. So takes out 2. He's got his dreadnought squaring up to my commander, and I've got to fight him in combat. So I move up my guys in my turn, and I shoot at his heavy intercessors to mostly no effect. Breachers aren't worth 120 points. Yeah, I figured that out real quick. Because what happened was these breachers, I usually always have them with Cadre Fireblade because the extra shots, is just really worth it. But that, like, only having 20, like, not even 20 shots, 14 shots going into them without, like, it would have been 28. Hey, I just got here. What did I miss? We're just talking about the different detachments and whether you like them, whether you dislike them, how you feel about them. I'm going through my first game I played against my little cousin. He brought a bunch of like Ultramarines, and I got completely wrecked. It was. I'm sorry, I don't mean to spoil it now for anyone. If anyone was curious, they got into melee combat. I got a broadside down here, breachers in the center, and heavy intercessors coming in to take out my breachers on the corner. So yeah, and the rest of the game went about as expected. I was using retaliation cadre because there was no sense for me, I thought, for Monk Ka because it's just such a small board that we were playing on. And yep, in the next turns, he kills the rest of my crisis suits. I knock out his tech marine and his dreadnought. He sends his heavy intercessors into my breachers, kills all of them. So he holds this objective. His impulsor still has 10 wounds, and so I launch my broadside into the heavy intercessors just for a last-ditch effort, no avail. You said Talon melee combat. It's hardly a sport that you got wrecked. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing, though. I, as long as I can remember, have always loved getting my Talon to melee combat. I always make a point to do it, or try to kill something in melee. Use the points in the Warm Field Manual and the bolt on the new stuff. So, anyways, for the 10th time in a row, I've lost to my second grade cousin who plays Ultramarines tentatively every now and then. Like I said earlier, like you normally like do bad and lose for your little cousins so they enjoy the game or little siblings, but you can't. I can't make up how bad the dice rolls just betrayed me at the end. My broadside literally did nothing all game. His seeker missile hit once, and it wounded the dreadnought. After that, he didn't do squat. And he just sat out in the wind. And the last thing he did was tie up some heavy intercessors. At the very end, it was no good. Play Farside Enclaves, and my brother plays Blood Angels. Yeah, okay. So that's the thing. My other cousin. So there's a family of my cousins I normally play with. There's the 3 youngest boys who I normally play with, and the oldest of them plays Blood Angels. And I can beat him consistently. His little brother I can never beat, though. So, I've never really had an issue with Blood Angels, I don't think. Because from my experience, as long as you just, the Sanguinary Guard are your biggest issue. Because their mobility and their, obviously, their how hard they hit in combat, along with Dante. But, I don't know. Actually, I haven't played him since not having cyclic ion blasters. I did play a mass infantry spam against him once, though, which I did good against. And I think his issue there was putting his guys in deep strike. Funny enough, I built to paint my army and his, so I'm thinking this is gonna kick my ass. So while you're painting your brother's army, it's shoot. I'm spelling my own demise. Maybe you should have been given him a bit more shooting potential, a little less on the melee hit combat. Be like, yeah, no, we're going to have a firefight between the Blood Angels and the Tau. That'll be an easy win. But I've actually noticed recently that a lot of the Space Marines have quite the heavy punch as far as shooting goes. I don't feel as invulnerable as winning firefights against some other armies that I would have figured that we would easily win shootouts against. For example, Imperial Guard, their artillery. I had no idea how devastating that would be. Mostly because it just could sit behind one spot and obliterate whatever I put on any objective, any weak little unit. And like Space Marines, I had oh gosh, like I played someone who was doing Dark Angels, and they dropped down their like plasma inceptors, and they just incinerated my crisis suits. I had no idea that that was like the kind of lethality that was coming out of other armies as far as shooting goes. And I played this Drukari guy once, and he had these little they were like these weird guys with wings, and they were like cheaper than one of my crisis suit fusion units, but they punched way above their weight class, and they had way more shots than my guys do. It was just nuts. I don't know. Like I find that like the only way that I thoroughly win games is usually with dominating on like the shooting realm. Because if I can't dominate, that's the only thing that we really have. Yeah, usually I thought that the new Marine Killing Crisis suit data sheet was going to kill Marines and Terminators with ease, but no, the Dice Gods betrayed me. Yeah, the Dice Gods do that a lot. It's oh gosh, but I'm beginning to think that like the Marine Killing unit, like what is it? What's it called the Fire Knife crisis suits? I don't think they're going to be that good or that well used. Like not they're going to be used. Whoever uses them can use them well, but they're not going to actually have the kind of devastating ability against our enemies that we think they are. Wait till you play Agents Deep Strike, devastating Centurions with -1 to hit them. Oh my gosh, yeah. Whew, Centurions. Yeah, haven't played those since oh gosh, ninth edition. There was an Imperial Fist player that I played against who had Centurions. But no, like I was saying, like the crisis suits that are supposed to be the elite killers, I there's no reason why you should play like why you should put plasma rifles on them because it's 18 inches for one shot, AP -3 damage, and if you're that close, the next turn they're gonna just walk up and mince you alive. Like I just don't see them being like against Terminators that like you'll have what 6 shots total with a squad of 6. Oh no, a squad of a 3. With a squad of 6, you'll have 12 shots. I don't know, and you're going to be hitting on threes, rerolling ones. Let's say best case scenario, you've got the stealth suits helping you out, like hitting on threes, rerolling ones. You got 6 shots, so that means you're going to hit about 5 of the times. And you're in a squad of like 5 Terminators. You're going to wound them on threes, so you wound them like 3 or 4 times. And then after you do that, you're going to have them wounding. They're going to save 2 of those. So you're going to bring down with your like 3-man crisis suit squad. You're going to bring down 2 Terminators. Best case scenario. Yeah. On my next list, 3 Riptides, Shadow Sun, Storm Surge. Oh yeah, that'll be awesome. 3 Riptides, Shadow Sun, and Storm Surge. Just bring out the Gundams, the big mechs. Give Plasma Crisis. Giving Plasma Crisis. Taking 6 of them. My next game. We'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, please do because I don't know. It just like it seems too close and personal for like the kind of elite like far back unit. Because if you take them with missile pods, you get twice the number of shots. Your lethality like capacity, I think, is kind of greater. Like sure, the armor penetration is lower, but you can get them closer. Because if you're already going to have them really close with your plasma rifles, you might as well just like put them all nice, close, and personal with your missile pods. I've heard that the missile pod is like the poor man's cyclic ion blaster, and seeing as you can't take those except for 1 per commander, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think that'll be the elite killing shot, like a weapon of choice these days. Then again, like having flamers and burst cannons, like use like with strength 5 and 6, or because of the new detachment rules and AP -1 and 2 because of the new, like the detachment and just the native built-in abilities for the crisis suits, like their lethality is going to be pretty dang good. I would even trust that to take on Marines more than I would like shooting a bunch of missile bots at them. I just your voice reminds me a lot of Auspex Tactics voice. Oh no, I can't believe it. I sound like Auspex Tactics. Okay, nothing against Auspex. Very impressive guy. I do admire his ability to just crank videos out like no tomorrow. But everyone that I've ever talked to, I don't know. They say his voice sounds annoying, or they don't like how he sounds. So I hope that's not the case. I hope this isn't a negative thing. But nothing against him. Like all praise, like very very impressive. If anything, I'm mostly jealous because he's beaten me to a couple Tau videos that I was going to make, and I saw his, and I'm like, oh gosh darn it, I just can't copy this guy because he already made it. Uh, I sound like Auspex. Dang, I love his voice. No worries. Okay, perfect. I sound like Auspex tactics in a good way. That's good. That's good. Because for me, he was definitely one of the first intros as far as getting into the game and knowing Tau. Because even though he's very much a general kind of YouTuber for like 40K, like he posts way more consistently for a lot of the factions than some of their like designated YouTube guys do, which I can definitely appreciate. Yeah. Oh, one thing I'm hyped for as far as the new codex goes that I haven't tried out yet is the strike teams giving -1 to hit for an entire turn against your opponents. That is something I'm excited to try out because you can take a lot of these units. Because I've noticed that the ability with the Guardian drones for our breacher teams and strike teams, the -1 to wound, taking people from wounding you on threes to wounding you on fours is ridiculous. So if you take people from hitting you on threes to hitting on fours, like you'll be -1 to hit, -1 to wound into our infantry, that'll be nuts. It'll be great. Crisis with dual flamers is good for board control. Yeah, absolutely, because you can just Overwatch. It's like the easiest Overwatch spend ever. Having that aspect tactics. I don't know how he does it. He must not sleep. Yeah. I have no idea. He might have a crew or something. Then again, I don't know how difficult it is for him to make his videos because like he has usually like slides and a script and just like the ability to crank that out really fast because and he must have a lot of like images just in stock because they're all like cropped out like it's just the unit and then a white blank background. So I don't know, like I'm impressed how he does it so much and fast and still makes it fairly engaging and intelligent stuff to talk about. Also, I hear a lot, but if Crisis were to go melee, what would the data sheet be? I personally think a Thunderhammer equivalent. Oh, okay. Yes, Crisis Suit melee. All right. So, off the bat, if we were to make a melee Crisis Suit unit, I'm thinking this is what it's going to have to be. We're going to have it so that this is where like the Iridium armor is going to come back. If we're to do a melee Crisis Suit variant, it is going to have a 2-up armor save because it like you're going to know. Okay, no, we'll just write it out. I've got a whiteboard. We're going to be somewhat entertaining and educational. Today's lesson plan: we're going to make a melee Crisis Suit. Melee Crisis. All right, so it's going to be very simple. So first, we're going to have its movement, and it's going to have the same old 10-inch movement because, well, it is just a simple Crisis Suit. After that, we're going to have to do its toughness. Okay, actually, I'm going to pull up all the things necessary for a data sheet. Okay. Data sheet. I don't miss anything. That's important. Alrighty. So we're going to need movement, toughness, save. We're going to need wounds count. And then we're going to need its leadership. And then we're going to need its OC. All right. So here's how we're going to go about it. We're going to need, for its toughness, I'm thinking 5 because it's just going to be the same with all the other toughnesses of the Crisis Suits. There's no reason they should get a 6 because the broadsides have 6. To be fair, the broadsides probably should have a 7, in my humble opinion. The leadership is obviously going to be a 7 plus because, well, that's normal. The wounds characteristic is going to be 4. Wait, why did I put down 5? Probably because okay. The wounds characteristic will be 4. Obviously, the OC I think 2. Maybe I'd be willing to give them a 3 because they have a like because they'll be melee, so it'll just be natural that they'll be taking back points. But the save characteristic, they'll have a 2 plus, like a 2 plus save because they need to have the Iridium armor. That's what the like. Let's be real. The Earthcast will look at them and be like, "You guys are going into melee combat. This is what you're absolutely going to need. A 2-up save." So Iridium armor will be back with the melee Crisis Suit. This is all theory. This isn't actually going to happen, sadly. I don't think. I think the Crisis Suit commanders should get a melee weapon. I personally use it. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Honor Your Gauntlet should come back or something. So looking at all this, pretty good. We're going to be allowed to attach drones to these guys. So I'm thinking They should, like, if anyone should be allowed to have like an extra buffing drone, it should be like Shadow Sun's kind of drone, like the her version of Guardian drone. So they would have extra wound because they'll be able to take a shield drone, and they should have an extra, what's it called? The special Shadow Sun Guardian drone. So like T5, 5 wounds, -1 to wound. Now for their melee capacity. If we were to actually give them melee capacity, I'm thinking the fusion blades would definitely be a way to go. But my only issue with the fusion blades is that Commander Brightsword has that trademarked. So I would say we're going to need something that will be able to hit hard into a wide variety of things. I'm thinking like power fist level stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bat drones with a bat and strength that gives extra melees. Ooh, that'd be pretty good. Do you think? Oh, do you have any custom names for your commanders? No, I do not. I probably should. I've thought about it, but none of them have earned a name. I don't. Oh, actually, the one that dueled the Emperor's champion and won probably should have a name. But the issue I find with my commanders is like their weapons loadouts change with such frequency that like I want to have just a set guy with a set loadout that's got their set thing going on that I'd want just to be them. And I, up until actually recently, I've only ever used crisis suit commanders, mostly because I'm a cheapskate. I can't afford anything else, so I only have crisis suit commanders. And with the new codex dropping, my crisis suit commanders are gone, so they don't have names. Like any of them that would have had names, I called them like Commander Brightsword. That was my one crisis suit commander that I had. Um, so I can't. They're all just gone. They're just not commanders anymore. They've been downgraded to chassis or chassos. Like the lower, like the sergeant rank for the crisis commanders. Personally, I have a commander named Nightbreeze. Oh, that's a pretty fun name. I like that one. Nightbreeze. I don't know. I suppose my one commander that I've named would probably be the old Farsight model that I have, and I just call him Nearsight. That would be about it. I definitely should. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, maybe you know what on the next battle report that I post, uh, or one after where I have like my full like crisis suit fleet come in and I first try out my commanders like the Cold Star and Enforcer commander, like actually try them out in the game. If you guys can give a comment down and say what you think that their names should be. I've actually been thinking recently to do a narrative campaign, so to speak, where I'll play against my cousin. He's been wanting to do this against me for a long time. Have a big narrative uh, play against each other, where like you guys will help me build an army, and then I will use that army, and we'll have battle scars and stuff, and we'll play against my cousin, and we'll have just a narrative come out of all the different battles and stories that come from how our games pan out. So I figured that'd be fun. Fun fact: Night Breeze was simply a small portion of my Dungeons and Dragons name. When I was 7 or 8. You play Dungeons and Dragons when you're like 7 or 8? Dang, getting all the tabletop hobbies young. I started my Dungeons and Dragons about 8th grade, I believe. 8th grade is when I first started playing. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, anyways, back to the melee crisis suit guy that we're going to try to build. So, the iridium armor, the wounds count, like he'll be taking like a shield drone and a guardian drone. So we're going to just put down in parentheses iridium. Then we're going to give him here 1 shield drone and then 1 guardian. So, missing the E here. So that'll go up to 5, and then we'll have a -1 to wound there. After this, I'm thinking that he's going to need 4 Pinbone because in order to make him, like he's going to be in melee combat. Farsight has his big shield generator. These guys should have their own big shield generators. So they're going to get themselves a 4 Pinbone. So we're going to do 4 plus, and then that'll be the shield gen. And then now we need what his what his stat line for the melee weapon will be. And I'm thinking like for what I built for my guys, my Kit Bash commanders, any of you that have seen them, I gave them Wraith Blades because I really enjoy the Eldar aesthetic as far as their weapons go. And I think it fits very well into how the Tau have their aesthetic. So if we were to give him a uh, specific weapon choice, I think it would have to be similar to that of the our Eldar equivalents. So off the bat, we're going to be Tau, and the fact of the matter is, we don't have the capacity to hit that well in general. So I'm not going to give us a unit that can hit on 3-ups because let's just be real, it's just not like this will be a nice way to debuff us in general. So for the weapon stat line, we're just going to do we'll do mini fusion blades. We'll just call them that because that would make sense. So the mini fusion. So we're going to have to hit. So it'll be weapon skill will be a 4+ because we're Tau and we got to keep it balanced. The number of attacks I don't know just yet, and then we're going to have the AP and the damage. So for the number of attacks that we should have, I'm thinking something like 4. So we have a 50-50 shot of getting two. Like, well, we have a because of how the math will pan out, we're more likely just going to get 2 hits a guy, something fairly reasonable. So 4 attacks there. I'm not thinking we need too terribly high AP because they're mini fusion blades. We probably should just like cut it in half. We'll do something like AP will be -2. I think that would be fairly reasonable because that'll be decent against a lot of infantry, and it'll even be able to hurt Marines a little bit, pushing them up to a 5-up save. Nothing too terribly ridiculous. And then for damage, I'm thinking we're gonna pull out a damage characteristic that I haven't seen in a long time. We're gonna do D3 damage. So this will make it so that we can have potential to kill Marines, we can whiff against Marines, you can kill Terminators, but also whiff against Terminators, all at the same time. So my first 40K game was 7th edition. I was 8 years old. Dang! My brother really wanted someone to play with, so he shoved the main rules, and that day started. That is awesome. A lot of elite melee units have 3. If it was specifically for melee, then the crisis units have a 3+ weapon skill. I get what you're saying, but I don't know. As far as the 3+ weapon skill, yes, this will be obviously melee crisis suits. They'll be in squads of 3. So that means out of the squad of 3, we'll have 12 attacks coming in. Oh shoot, we need a strength characteristic for this. I forgot that. How strong should these attacks be? I'm thinking a nice solid 8. Would that be reasonable? Everyone agree on that? 8 for strength. Yeah, that seems fairly reasonable. Yeah, I spelled ASAP. So the actually okay, here's a better idea. It's going to be 4+, but they're going to change Farsight so that if he leads this unit, he gives them a +1, or like he improves their weapon skill by 1. How's that sound? Everyone sound fairly satisfied with that, so that they can go up to a 3+ when they hang with Farsight, but otherwise they're pretty mid. I'd say that'd be pretty reasonable. So they've got weapon skill 4+, 4 attacks, strength 8, AP -2, D3 damage, and from this we'll have they need a special unit ability. Every unit has a special ability, and of course, as crisis suits, they should be able to have the auto advance 6. So, stabby suits, my personal name for them, should be strength 8. Yes, precisely. Cool. So strength 8 is a good number. So obviously, as crisis suits, they should be able to have the auto advance 6 because all the crisis suits have that, and they do have the war gear of like the shield gem. But beyond this, ooh, -1 incoming damage. That might be good. I was thinking that a feel no pain or mortal wounds on the charge. Okay, I'm gonna take back mortal wounds on the charge because like they could have like a thruster jets that would throw them into their enemies. And yes. Oh yes, +1 weapon skill and AP. That would be really good. Don't. Oh wait, they don't have auto advance 6 anymore. The new crisis suits don't have auto advance 6 anymore. Okay, well that changes this up then. Okay, so because they don't have the auto advance 6 anymore, I'm thinking that these guys should get auto advance 6 and free charge after advancing. They can advance and charge. That would make this pretty lethal. Yeah. Yeah, that would make it really lethal, actually. Yeah, I think that we've cooked up a fairly decent unit. So if anyone has any art capabilities, feel free to draw whatever you think this would look like, and then we'll get a 3D modeler, and we can make models, and everyone can have the ideal melee crisis suit, and you can see if your friends would be willing to play with you against it. Because I would totally, I'd totally do this. This would be awesome. Yeah. Gosh, I think I'm gonna have to retitle the stream to "Units that we wish the Tau had." Okay, so we've done melee crisis suits. That's something that obviously we think and know the Tau should have. Anyone have any other opinions or thoughts on other units that we should definitely be packing as Tau? Anything beyond like what we currently have, and maybe we could just for kicks cook up what their stat line should be. Because personally, I think everyone's been thinking this. We all know what I'm going to say next. The Great Knarloc. We need that sucker back. Like it just doesn't feel like the Kroot had fully been realized without it. And if you notice, there was if any of you have the codex and you've read the Kroot part of it, the lore aspect, there was the Kroot guy. He pointed out that they have been taming like these bigger beasts and stuff in the lore and been doing all these other different things, and they have been able to use them in battle. So like just like gigantic monolith of creatures and stuff. So I'm thinking that there's a possibility in the future that we will get those kind of creatures that the Kroot can ride, because the calamandras, the chameleonic creatures that the Kroot lone spears ride, I think that that's only the beginning for other interesting and wacky alien races to be introduced into the Tau, or even for the Kroot to use as auxiliaries of the Tau. I think the Arvarna and Yavara should get class models. Oh yeah, that's coming, 100%. Uh, the like, I think everything will like, because Forge World has been done away with, and they've moved everything onto just one whole, just Warhammer platform. They're going to make just about everything plastic again. Anything that's in resin will not be in resin for much longer, and they will have plastic remakes. The only question is when. Also, I don't have an Arvarna or Yavara, and looking at them, I've always questioned weapon option for melee crisis fusion blades, as is, and the sword for anti-horde. Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually really good, because that would actually go in line with a lot of other melee with all the other crisis suits that are there, because the other crisis suits, they can choose between their fusion, like their burst cannons or flamers, or missile pods and plasma rifles. So this would be actually pretty cool if we had like strength 8, AP minus 2, D6 damage, and then like strength 6, AP minus 1 damage, or D3 damage. That'd actually be an interesting way to go about it. Imperial Knights just got those new models. Oh, why haven't they done that for any town models in plastic? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Games Workshop doesn't like us. What can you say? It is what it is. But I'm mostly just hyped for the. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to. I'm really scatterbrained. You guys say anything in the comments, and I just zip off to whatever you're talking about, without regard for the initial thought they had. So we're gonna cook up the ideal Great Knarloc, or the new and improved Great Knarloc data sheet that should be made. All right, so we're gonna get rid of all this. Oh shoot, I'll go find an actual eraser somewhere. Let's use that. Nope, this ain't gonna work. I'll be right back, gents. JW hate Custodes at the moment more. Real okay. Say some stuff in the comments while I go run and grab an eraser real quick, because I haven't really looked at the new Custodes codex just yet, but I've been seeing. I saw like a thumbnail for one of Art of War's what's it called, codex reviews, and it was just, oh, Phil, thanks for joining. I hope you have a wonderful night. Have a good night, man. I've heard that it was just like there's nothing competitive in their codex. So I'll be right back. Perfect. Alrighty. So, if I can, I'm going to try to find their codex real quick. New Custodes codex. Anyone know if there's a PDF anywhere for it? Kroot, 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 Kroot. Tau Tau. Alrighty. Okay. Galaxy and New Adeptus. Custodes Codex. Alrighty. So, revered companions, detachment rule. Units from your army gain the following ability. While Adeptus Custodes units are within 6 inches of this unit, models in that unit have a 5+ feel no pain against psychic attacks and mortal wounds. Gain the following ability. Deadly unit aura. While an anathema psychana unit is within 6 inches of this unit, each time a model makes anathema psychana unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. What is this nonsense? Lord, I spam Kroot so quick. YouTube told me to stop. Yeah, well, you can tell YouTube to buzz off. They don't need to tell you to stop with that. Okay, so we're gonna screen share real quick. I'm gonna do window, Chrome, tab. Okay. Share. Cool. So this is what I see for the new Custodes detachment. Now let's see here. This doesn't seem that impressive. Because the sisters never were any good, and just giving Custodes a 5+ feel pain against psychic attacks while within 6 inches seems absolutely meh. And coupled with that, the sisters getting a +1 to hit rolls is also not that impressive. In your opponent's movement phase, up to 2 Adeptus Custodes units in your army that are within 9 inches of an enemy unit, your units can make a normal move up to 6 inches. Okay. Like units engage range of 1 or more enemy units. That seems kind of meh. These guys, okay, I don't know. I only see the point of this to get closer to try to get grips with people. Towns interlocked. During your shooting phase, up to 2 Adeptus Custodes infantry units from your army and 1 enemy unit that is eligible to target these effect until the end of the phase. Your units can only target the enemy unit, but each time a model in one of your units makes a ranged attack, improve the strength and armor penetration characteristics of that attack by 1. Okay, that doesn't sound so bad. You can only select units if one and only one of them is an anathema psyker. What? That sounds like just a straight up debuff as far as this restriction goes. Why wouldn't you just do straight up Custodes? Okay, a gift of Terran Artifice. Custodes model only. Each time the bearer makes a melee attack, add 1 to the wound roll. Okay, that seems fine. Enhancement. Custodes model only. Each time an attack targets the bearer's unit, if the attacking model is within 12 inches, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Okay. None of this sounds particularly impressive. Have they dropped the entire new codex and I just haven't noticed? For 6 Alaris Custodians, it's 420 points? Whoa! Oh no, I pressed the back button. Or 300 for 2 of their jet bikes. Oh wait. What in the world? Okay, hold up. Stop sharing. My screen is just black? Sorry. Am I back now? Let me know. Am I back? Is it working again? I can't tell. I hope it is. But hold up. They got their points jacked up too? Okay, perfect. I'm back. We're back and we're better than ever. Okay, so here's one thing that I do have to say as far as a critique for Games Workshop. When I first started the hobby, I remember in order to get into the Tau, I watched the Codex leak. Okay, where can I find the leaked Codex though? Because I'd love to look at that a bit more. Because I'm interested in what to do. I get into just to look at all the news things to get all caught up to date. Let's see. Edward, can you help me out, man? Where's the new codex at? I don't know. Codex leak. Custodes. Nope. Oh well. But anyways, like I was saying, for the game in general, when I first got into the hobby, I remember that I purchased 2 start collecting sets, and that was 100, like a little less than $100 a piece. So Aspect Tactics. All right, all right, all right. I'll find Aspect Tactics, and then I will cheat and use what he's found. All righty, Aspects. So what I did was I had two full strike teams. I had a 5-man crisis suit unit because you could take them like they weren't set to how they are now, and I had 1 crisis suit commander, kit bash cadre fireblade, and then I kit bash one of my other ethereals and on sheep, and that was an entire army there. Like it was about 1,000 points. Each one was like each box gave me about 500 points apiece, and overall it was 1,000 points. So for about $400, I could get an entire 2,000 point 40k army. And sure, it would just be a bunch of crisis suits and just be a bunch of strike teams or breacher teams, but ethereals and cadre fireblades. But that was an entire army, and for fairly cheap. Looking back now, the crisis, like the start collecting box, like the entire the strike team is now about 100 points. The crisis suit team is maybe 150, depending on which one you choose. I'm just saying about. And then the ethereal or cadre, depending on if you want to kit bash or not, is like 30 to 40 points. Overall, that's maybe 300 points. And like give or take, maybe might be a little bit more. 300 times 3 is about 1,000, so that's about $900 for 1,000 points, and then 900 times 2 in order to get it close to 2,000. Like you're paying about like well over $1,500 for a Tau army these days. Oh, you're live now. Yes, I am live. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome one, welcome all. Also, I am the only one that misses when broadsides with railguns on their shoulders. I do think that was kind of a sick look, not gonna lie. I do think they need to be chunkier though, instead of just like lesser crisis suit looks. So no, but anyways, like I was saying, we have lost the points. I feel as though have been cut in some way, so that we have to pay so much more to get more units to field more guys on the board just to fill out a 2,000 point list. Like I don't know. So I'm like, as bad as I think it is that the Custodes are getting like their teeth kicked in as far as points go, with like only be able to get 6 Alaris Custodians for 420 points. Like it's not all that bad, because like if the points go up, then you don't have as many guys to field on the table. You don't need to spend as much money in order to get 2,000 point games in. Like I don't know. It feels like the hobby is getting more and more expensive. I started with 3 start collecting boxes. The one with the ghost killing. Yeah. Oh yeah. The combat patrol. Absolutely. That's a great way to start. It's 160 bucks times like 3. There might be different currencies depending on where you are, what country you're in. But that's like, it's a little less than 500. That's not too bad. 3 ghost kills, 9 stealth suits, 3 fire warrior squads of your choice, and then 3 ethereals and 3 cadre fireblades. I'm thinking of the fun kit bashes you could do with some of those guys. Definitely good stuff. Man, pride and joy. First cadre fireblade kit bash. So I don't know. Our points initially, 89 British pounds for 3 of them, or just for 1. I don't know. That's pretty good. I don't really know the currency transfer as far as like value of different currencies go. I'm a foolish American. But no, I don't know. Have any of you guys? Oh, for 1, gotcha. That would make sense. Have any of you guys like experienced the uptick as far as just in general having everything cost so much more for like not as many models? It feels, or well, I don't know. Maybe it's always been like this. Maybe inflation has caused all this. Who knows? But we'll talk about the economy. That'd be bad. Anyways, so if the case is that all the new codex that come out, thoughts on the new combat patrol. Okay, so is it official that the new combat patrol is going to be what everyone says the new combat patrol is going to be? Because I hear rumor that the new combat patrol is going to be we're going to have fire warriors, we're going to have a commander, we're going to have devilfish, and I think we're going to have pathfinders. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please feel free to correct me because that's what I heard the new Tau combat patrol is going to be. Right. According to Auspex Tactics, the new combat patrol will include one commander, uh, a squad of pathfinders, a squad of fire warriors, and a devilfish. Oof. You like the new one? Oh, wow. Okay, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, the one that we have right now is a great deal, and like it's good. It's except my only beef with it is it feels like it's gonna be the one that we have now with a ghost kill. It's just too like stealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like the theme that you're going with is just like this is the stealth army of the Tau, which is fine for those who like that. I think that's completely fine, but I don't think it would like it just felt kind of haphazardly thrown together. If you ask me, like the stealth suits and the ghost kill were great. The cadre fireblade with fire warriors is awesome, but then we have an ethereal hanging around. What's the point of having an ethereal hanging around? We have two leaders for one unit that can't take two leaders. It just seems a bit redundant. Like, get rid of the cadre or get rid of the ethereal. Like, get rid of one of the HQs. We don't need two HQs hanging around. It seems a bit excessive. And if anything, you probably should just get rid of the ethereal because no one likes the ethereals in general. No one takes the ethereals, as far as I know. Like I take them mostly because I try unorthodox lists because I think it'll be fun to roll 3 dice, and I'm guaranteed an extra command point every turn because ethereals be like that. But beyond that, the like I just it would be more palatable to people that just want to play more of like a Farside Enclaves kind of vibe. So this new combat patrol, I think, is good insofar as everyone needs a commander, and everyone loves the commanders. Like they're by far one of like the most iconic staples of our armies in general, because the commanders are typically just I don't know, like I can't think of any army that I've ever seen that doesn't have like a cold star in it. It's just one of the most iconic suits. Very mobile, looks really cool. It's fun. It's kind of fast and flashy. After that, I I think that it's important to have a battle line in there, being able to build either your Kroot, or not Kroot, either your breachers or your strike teams. Very good, and you give them a devilfish. Because one thing that I didn't like about the other value boxes, the start collecting included, and the recent combat patrol that we do have is like I didn't want to build breachers because strike teams were sufficient from that box. They could just hang out in the back, but I didn't want to have to go out of my way to buy another thing, buy the devilfish, because the devilfish is what makes the breachers good. You know, the fish of fury. So I always figured it would just be better to just have the strike teams because they could stand alone on their own. But having the devilfish and then being able to build your breachers in with it, definitely very good. And then obviously Pathfinders, very good, nice marker light support overall. I like it because you're going to have Fire Warriors and Devilfish most of the time. Yeah. Anyways, in the Pathfinders, you're most likely going to have 1 to 2 units in. Absolutely. As far as a player, I just like how the combat patrol had an ethereal. Yeah, me too. I like the new Codex Combat Patrol. I know I like the new Combat Patrol over the old one, but I was surprised it wasn't Kroot because that's what came in the box. Yeah, that is. I've heard rumors that we're going to get a Kroot Combat Patrol, like aside from the Tau one. I don't know how real that is, or if it's just a pipe dream or what, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did get a Kroot Combat Patrol. But here's the catch: with the launch box for the Tau Codex being that Kroot box, that Kroot box would be the only viable Combat Patrol box, if you get what I'm saying, because the Kroot are just so squishy. We can't have them not be uh, we just because they're so weak and because their points are so low, the only way that would make the combat patrol actually worth taking would be if We got 20 Kroot carnivores because that's the only way that they really size up and match up against the fire warriors as a baseline. We need the like the Krutox or the Krutox rampagers in order to actually be some like a decent elite unit. So we have to have at least like one of them, if not both, because let's be real, like they're not that tough. They don't cost that many points, and then we need at least two HQs. It's just I don't see any way that we can make it so that the combat patrol would be worth it for people if we gave them one 10-man squad of carnivores, a war shaper, and then a Krutox or the Krutox rampagers. Like that doesn't seem like enough. Because any other army that you run up against, it's like those rampage, like you take that and you face it off against the old start collecting box. The rampagers are nothing against the crisis suits. The Kroot are nothing against the fire warriors. And then the ethereal is even better than the Kroot war shaper. I don't know what to tell you. Like it just doesn't seem like it'd be enough. So if we were to have a Kroot combat patrol box, we'd need at least two 10-man squads, making it 20, and then at least two characters, I'd have to say, and then if not two characters, two special elite units. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But this new combat patrol, I think, will be very good because it will have what a lot of people need, which is the commander, which a lot of us, which we've been deprived of as far as in any value box whatsoever, and then having a nice Fish of Fury feel because you can use a double fish for your pathfinders or your breachers or strike teams, whichever you want to put in. I think it'll be very good. I just feel like something is missing. I don't know what, but just something feels missing from the combat patrol, the new one that's coming out. There's got to be like some extra little flavoring. I can see where people are coming from for why they wouldn't like it though, because you've got two infantry units that don't have a leader for them, though the transport does do a nice offsetting of that, and then you've got a HQ that can't lead any units that it's in the combat patrol with. So there is a little bit of that. It seems a little bit of a mismatch as far as for what's going on. But yeah. Or maybe actually, for if we were to do the Kroot combat patrol, would be really fun. Is they have a new surprise like Great Knarloc be in there. That would make it all worth it. I personally think that GW wants to have 500 point starter boxes. Then it would have should be a commander, a cadre, a crisis squad, and a fire warrior team, and a broadside, and maybe a devilfish. Yes, yes. But notice how much stuff you have to pack into that thing. Like it's tons. I feel there might be something with the Krutox riders with their special rule. True. Because here's one thing I noticed: like, if any of you guys have watched or even played Combat Patrol, like, the new game that GW is trying to get, like, you buy the Combat Patrol and then you can play the game Combat Patrol. Yeah, it just like the balancing of it just seems a little bit off, like of how the rules and stuff work, and as far as like getting to know your army, it doesn't feel like the right way to go about it. I don't know, might just be me, but I think what would be absolutely perfect if you could get your hands like for starting off the game would be getting your hands on the new combat patrol that's coming out, and if you could get your hands on the old like Tau starter set because it does a nice complement for that by having a crisis suit squad for your commander to lead from the old starter set, an ethereal to lead one of your two strike teams that you have. Like you can make one strike team and the other a breacher team, and the other breacher team can go in the devilfish, or you could kit bash your ethereal into a cadre fireblade and you can put in the devilfish, and then you have your pathfinders for nice extra support. That would be a very good, nice starting army. You know what? Make combat patrol out of the storm surge and shadow sun. That's it. You know what? I would buy that combat patrol. That would be an awesome combat patrol. Whew. It sounds just hilarious. How much of a discount would that be? How much does a storm surge cost in general? It's like 180 something in US dollars. That's it. That is, and like Shadow Sun's like I assume like 40 or so. That'd be quite the nice discount. You have to like take a $200 thing, like chop $40 off of it, and make it way cheaper. I'd buy that. Yeah. Also, okay, here's something I've been debating as far as the Storm Surge goes with its two main cannons. I don't know which one is the better anti-tank cannon. About a 60 bucks discount. Awesome discount. because I've been looking at the Storm Surge data sheet, and it's got the one cannon that's got like the 48-inch range gun, and it has like a ridiculous amount. It's got like two shots, I want to say, and it does like 12 damage a shot, and then but it's like at 48-inch range. And there's the other one, um, the Attack Combat Patrol Pathfinders. Yes, yes, the new Combat Patrol is a Taunar in Pathfinders. Absolutely, that is the way to go. That is how we will bring in more people to join the greater good. Look at our giant Gundam mech and just a bunch of little boys with marker lights standing all around him. That is how we will join the greater good. I'm list building meme list right now via Battlescribe. Yeah, okay. Is Battlescribe updated to the new data sheets that we have and the new points that we have yet? Because I've been checking every single day and I just haven't found anything new for it yet. We're using all the old stuff. Darn. Yeah, pain. I did a what's it called? I did a meme list build for Battlescribe, and I used 3 Riptides, 3 Avaras, and 3 Arvarnas once. And it's still, we had a bunch of points left over to spare. Oh, yeah, the old price suits are still there. Yes, at the lovely points of 200. And when cyclic ion blasters are still around. Okay, are you guys really that brokenhearted about the cyclic ion blasters leaving? Like, I can understand why a lot of people would be. Insofar as like you've got more cyclic ion blasters like glued to your guys now than you are legally allowed to have in your entire army. Because now, like the max number of cyclic ion blasters you can take in your entire army is 6. Because you can take 3 enforcer commanders, 3 what's it called, cold star commanders, and after that you're done. Like then each one of them can take 1 cyclic ion blaster. It's just I looked at that and I was just like, okay, great. I have 6 cyclic ion blasters glued to 3 crisis suits that I have. Oh no, I'm heartbroken. I'm just going to keep them on the shelf. It will most likely update when the codex goes on general sale. Yeah. Okay. When is the codex going on general sale? Pathfinders times 3 ion each. Also, yes. Okay, that's actually something interesting because I was doing the math once on what it would take for you to have. They're cool, but they're too good. Yeah, to take kind of not fun. Yeah, it's a feel bad. How valuable stealth suits in the Monka retaliation contract? Okay, stealth suits are probably the most viable unit to take ever now. They are the best in any unit, like in any detachment that you take them in. The rerolling ones to hit and rerolling ones to wound are great. They have surpassed Tetras. Everyone has been like, the Tetras are the best with full rerolls to hit. No. Like people would do like what's the name? Auspex Tactics did this once. He did the math on what's better, Tetras or stealth suits. And it was like, and how far off were they, like points wise and damage output for what they're buffing wise. And then after that, you have this. He did the math on stealth suits with Shadow Sun nearby, and who did better as far as damage output ability. What I'm saying is though that now you don't even need Shadow Sun because the stealth suits will be completely viable in every single detachment without Shadow Sun nearby because whatever they're guiding you towards, you get real ones to hit and wound. So you get the best of all the worlds. And with how cheap they are, they're going to be absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. And they're going to be great in retaliation cadre because their burst cannons will go up to strength 6 and have an extra AP if you're really close. And the fusion blaster will get like strength 10, AP -5. So that'll be great too if you can hit with it. But besides the point. What do you think about the rumors of the Vespid kill team? I love those rumors. I'm so hyped for those because that means that we might get special weapons for the Vespid and they might have an like extra cool melee capacity or something. I don't know. I'm just really excited at the prospect of my old metal Vespids going out of date. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I'm a cheapskate. I don't have to buy new stuff. But having like a cooler looking Vespid sculpt and having them have like actual like interesting looking different guns, a different lethality, and even melee capacity, I'm all here for. And we might even be able to buy them in squads of 10 now because that's how usually kill teams are given out. You've got 10 units per kill team or 10 models per kill team. So that would be a cheaper way to buy more of the Vespid, but you can still break it down into squads of 5. I bought 2 squads from, 3 from, let's see, so cool. Wait, you should show us your full Tau army. I did a video on that some time ago, my full Tau army. All the painted ones at least. Uh, it was quite a lot. I haven't finished. I've got a big pile of shame that I need to finish painting. So I am like priming and whatnot. So I will once I get that done, I will do a big huge reveal of everything. Give me Vespid like yesterday. Yeah, telling me they're killing it with talent per kill team so far. Yeah, I agree 100%. The kill teams that we have look great. Like the Farstalker Kinband, that was awesome kill team. I very much gave the nice pirate Kroot look, and the Pathfinders, I loved it. The we finally got the tactical rock, and not to mention the whole look with him, like with the goggles and stuff on all of the different Pathfinders. Completely digged it. Looked great. Also, a little bit of an inspiration for this. This is a breacher helmet slash what's it called, Pathfinder goggle kind of mix feel that I'm going for. Yeah. Yes, Vespid are a fan. Fave kill team with new sculpts would be amazing. Absolutely. I'm just thinking like this is what my Vespid all look like. They're just this is it, the whole thing, and they've got the leader who does this, like points off in the distance. Like come on, give me something more. Like we could have ones where they're like mid flight, like the wings actually fan out or something. Have a claws doing something. Have a melee dedicated Vespid guy. That'd be really cool. Um, but I kind of dislike the look of the crew. Tactical Rock was the best. Yes, the Pathfinder's getting the Tactical Rock. The Tau finally captured what is most important from the Imperium in their like greatest weapon, the Tactical Rock. It is now ours. I personally think they should have an Imperial Guard slash auxiliaries. Yes. Okay. So that's funny that you say that. I do like the Pathfinders with the robotic arm. That is also cool. I like cybernetics. Maybe we might add more of that into the broader Tau range. But what you're saying as far as the Imperial Guard auxiliaries feel for the crew, that's actually exactly what I do for my crew. If you noticed in one of the videos that two of the battle report videos that I posted, I made this massive Imperial Guard haul, and I got like 70 or 80. It was a ton. No, like not 78, like well over 100, potentially like 120 or so Imperial Guard. And what I'm in the progress of doing is I'm scraping off all the Imperial insignias and Aquillas everywhere. I've given a handful of them, like breacher helmets and shoulder pads to make them breachers. But the ones that I don't give that to, I'm giving them bayonets or like I'm butchering the different pulse rifles or carbines a bit so that I can make them all my own like Tau auxiliaries, and I'm going to run them as Kroot. The only catch is they're on 25 millimeter bases, and the new Kroot are on 100, not 100, are on 28 millimeter bases. So that means I'm gonna have to buy like I got 60 new Kroot now, like my Kroot auxiliaries. So I've got to buy what, like 60 28 millimeter bases so that they're legal to play now. Pain. It is what it is though. So yeah, no, all of my Kroot, I don't have like my only real Kroot that I have are the Farstalkers. Other than that, I have like my Krootoks were all Bulgrin kit bashes, some of my favorite. My Kroot Hounds, I got a box of Termagants, and then I used a bunch of Kroot bits and their quills and stuff to put on the back of their heads and stuff, and I kit bashed them into my little Kroot Hounds. And yeah, like I said, for my Kroot carnivores, that are all just Imperial Guard auxiliaries. So that's just how I roll with my crew. I like humans, humanity first. We are the true holders of the greater good. We do it better than the Tau do. So that's how I go about it. 120 guard. You're gonna need more 500 point list though. Yeah, I do need more for a 500 point list though. Which is why it came with a Chimera, a Hellhound, and two Basilisks. So it'll be fun, and I hope that if I ever play them, I'll be allowed to just like throw my Fire Warriors in there and be like, look, like the Fire Warrior, Guavesa Alliance, but they're all just gonna have the stats of whichever Imperial Guard regiment I'm going for. I wonder how flying Vespid will look with the current approach to flying bases. Yes, floating on smoke or leaping off of things. Yeah, that is something that I do have to say I will worry about. It's probably going to be like mass tactical rocks, if I were to have to guess, because that's how Shadowsun is. That's how the new jump pack intercessors are for the Space Marines, and their captain has like the weird flowing like not robes, but his purity seals or whatever, like touching the ground to keep him up and give them the flying look. So because of that, I'd have to say I don't really know. I don't know how it's going to go about. I can't think of anything where the Vespid would necessarily have smoke that would merit them being or needing to have like that as to prop them up a bit. I don't know. Maybe no, that probably won't work. Maybe they might have the weird flying base thing or like the little like the drone little stick thing, and then you can put them on that so it looks like they're flying. That would be my guess as far as actually making them float or something. I don't really know. Probably just really dynamic looking poses. That's what I would assume, similar to the assault intercessors flying. Also, they're probably going to get a big base upgrade and increase because they are T4 and Strength 4. So they're a bit more chonky and beefy. So I'd be willing to bet they might go up to like a Firstborn Space Marine base sizes, or heck, even like the Assault Intercessor base sizes for just their size increase. So I don't know. I'd also be interested to see if they get a character with them as far as like a strain leader goes. So that'd be something interesting to think about or have. Which would also be really nice because I hear that we're trying to cut down a lot of our different like we just lost on Va and on Shi and Longstrike. We've cut a big chunk of the range as far as characters go. So there's a possibility we could get a Vespid character, which would be interesting, or like have the strain leader sergeant have something extra for the unit that we haven't had before. Like I don't know, maybe an extra track, maybe like a special like power claw thing for the Vespids. So yeah, I don't know because yeah, I would have to say preferably it would be nice if we got like a Tau Vespids, like the whole like auxiliary kind of look. If any of you guys have seen Tau Nix Vespids, they look absolutely stunning. Like they're like one of them's like half on floating drone disc. They all have got these cool little wings with little jetpack boosters in them. It looks great. I would have to say maybe we get a complete overhaul of the Vespid, and instead of them have the insectoid look, we could instead have them have their like teched up, like the Tau have really been helping them out with all of their technology and looks and stuff and armor. So I don't know. That would be something that'd be pretty cool. But anyways, I'm gonna try to go back and find the new. Oh wait, no. Okay, we're gonna go see Auspex, and we're gonna rip on the Custodes for their entire codex, just bumming them out. Tactics, Custodes. Let's see. Alrighty. What's he got for us? What is everyone so sad about? The nerfs. I suppose we'll start there. Right. Now we're going to share screen on a window, Chrome tab, this one, Aspect Tactics. Alrighty. So, this book has been very negative. The early takes on this book have been very negative, somewhat justifiably. Detachments seem bad to mid in both power and flavor, less impact. The index shield host, plus a whole bunch of data sheets have changed for the worse. This is very surprising because I would have expected the Custodes to have maintained their just very threatening, powerful position, as far as just powerhouses in the lore and on the tabletop. So this might be good for us. Might be nice. Might be easier to kill the Custodes, but it personally is like a bit more of a fun and competitive hard game. But I digress. So, also let me know if you can't see the screen anymore, or if there's something off with it, because I can't really, I can't tell what you guys can see or not. There's different ways to play it. All right. So I suppose we can move on to the nerfs, and we can look at the detachments, see what everyone's complaining about. None of them lock out any models, so you can field any army, which is nice, 4,000 each. Okay, the Talons of the Emperor, that was the one that I just looked at on the Warhammer community news site. Looks very lackluster. Not that impressive. I can't believe it. They made a Sisters of Silence Detachment. I don't know anyone who really collects sisters that fervently that would ever use that, but fair enough. And Custodes battle line and focused on Custodes characters also could be fairly interesting. But from here, okay, we already saw the Talons of the Emperor and found that that was fairly lackluster and very situational if you're like going up against a very psyker-focused army. After this, Talons of, wait, no, it's still Talons of the Emperor. Okay, let's see. Talons of the Emperor, Talons of the Emperor, Stratagems, Talons of the Emperor enhancements. All right. So here we go. All right. The detachment themed around Custodes Hero Hammer. This sounds actually fairly interesting. Like, wouldn't be too bad to play. Um, everything supports characters, which is pretty good, especially for this edition, saying as it's all centered around characters leading other units. Similar to the Might of Core rule. Select one unit in the command phase. Character models get +1 to wound that target. Okay, that seems pretty good. Notably, not character units. Oh, which have been applied to anything with the character. Ooh, that sounds like a. That sounds like it hurts a bit. It's not great. Often will add up to +1 to wound for 1 to 2 models a turn, and sometimes not even that. Fairly good damage boost for a blade champion, but not for the whole army level. Yeah, seems like you'd have to be carrying around a lot of characters in order to actually make this reasonable or viable for you to want to use for Custodes. So definitely not that impressive, but I could see the lethality for like +1 to wound go up quite a bit, especially for characters like Trajan. This would make it so that if like in the very heavy vehicle meta, I would have to say we've got a lot of character units that sure they're just swinging weapons, but a +1 to wound on something like strength 8, 9, or 10 will be very lethal to vehicles, especially because that's kind of just how the what's it called? Just how the meta is working these days. So it'll be nice as far as if you're going into a bunch of vehicle spam. All right. Pro champions. Okay. Enhancements. Not so interested in that. Just looking at the core rules. All right. So this one. This is the Sisters themed one, isn't it? A detachment theme for Sisters of Silence, but you can still take Custodes with it. So you can take the Prosecutors as battle line. That's nice. I don't know why you would. I don't really know anyone who uses them to begin with. Creeping Dread is a core rule. If enemy Psyker and or is a Psyker and or starting strength within 12 inches of one of these girls, the model must take a battle shock test. If such is also below half strength, it has to take -1 to the battle shock test. Okay, that's pretty good. This would actually be nice for getting rid of a lot of people's OC. So definitely give them a bit more objective control, especially for more of an elite level army. Sisters of Silence are Chaos Knights now, but without the damage boost bit or much frontline durability. Yeah, that is one thing that I am worried about with these people. It's the fact that, sure, this is really good, and sure, you can take a lot of them as battle line, but I'm pretty sure they have a 3-up save and a toughness 3. They're like glorified Sisters of Battle and just not as durable or like equal on durability, maybe. So, I don't know. This will be disruptive to enemy scoring points in certain armies like Guard, where it messes with others. Yeah. So I don't know. Uh, I'd sooner lean towards the lethality of Hero Hammer. So let's go with Shield Host because this seems like the one that probably most likely used more often than not. Detachment has basically been fully rewritten. So I think this is the one they had prior, and they'll be getting a new one again after this. Oh no, this is the new one that they have now. So swapped from a 4+ save against mortal wounds and devastating wounds. Wow, that sounds like why would you ever get rid of that? It sounds really nice. This is a big durability hit in favor of a damage buff. Okay. Mortal wounds and dev wounds will be great against Custodes. Yeah, that is one thing that I kind of figured they would be able to hedge against. Because my impression of the Custodes, which I think is very difficult to make be on the tabletop and also in the lore, is that they are just undefeatable. Like they're just very tanky and hard to kill. So there's that, but also they're obviously master, martial artists and can defeat just about anybody, save a Primarch in combat. So it's a once per battle. It's a once per battle whole army melee damage buff. That's so sad. It's like calling the Wobbit for the Custodes. Oh no, that's horrible. Once per battle, at the start of the battle round, you can use Martial Mastery. If you do until the start of the next battle round, each Adeptus Custodes model from your army with Martial Kata, whatever that means, ability, makes a melee attack. A successful unmodified hit roll of a 5+ scores a critical hit. Okay, well that's nice. Improves the armor penetration characteristic of melee weapons equipped by Adeptus Custodes models. You're not worth the martial ability. What? What? Wait, once per game? Oh my gosh. And I thought like having Montcalm and Kayun for only 3 turns was bad. Well, that's lame. Oh, sheesh, that's horrible. Okay. Wow. Well, the Custodes got completely shellacked. That's sad. I don't really know what to say to that. I hope it's been somewhat entertaining. But all right, I gotta find something more interesting to discuss, something to grip your attention, I suppose. So I don't know. Well, I guess you guys can sit there and watch as I come up with what I think would be the ideal for the new Great Knarloc to have for his data sheet. So we're gonna have the Great Knarloc. So this is what we're gonna do in order to make the Great Knarloc decent. This is going to be the new thing that is going to be entering the Tau range, I hope, because they dropped hints to this at the start of, during the codex of the new Tau codex that came with Kroot box. They talked about having huge monolithic creatures that the Kroot would tame and use. So I'm going to assume that it's dropping little hints and Easter eggs for the future of the return of the Great Knarloc. So we're going to need its movement, its toughness, its saves, its wound count, its leadership, and its OC. So personally, I'm leaning on the fact that it will be similar to a lot of the other Kroot because sadly the rampagers did not get the mobility boost that I thought it would, that I thought they would. So I'm thinking the movement for the Great Knarloc, I assume, will be like 7 inches, like everybody else. That's kind of where we're going to line up for it. Now, after that, this guy should probably be tougher than the smaller battle suits, like the broadsides, crisis suits, but not tougher than like the Riptides or a Ghost Keel. I would say it would probably be on par with a Ghost Keel. And there's also, if you look at Battle Scribe, there's a place where you can find where you can ally in other units and stuff. They take some things from Blackstone Fortress, and one of the things is the Amble, and the Amble is toughness 8. So I figured that for a toughness for the Knarloc, 8 would be a fairly reasonable one, the Great Knarloc. So 7-inch movement, toughness 8. The save for this guy, I'm thinking, has to be better than the Krootox and the Krootox Rampagers. So I'm thinking we'll probably give him a 4+ save. Not to mention, that is the save that he did have way back when he was still a model here and was able to be played. So from here, I'm thinking, like, for the wounds count, I don't think he's somebody that should be bracketed, but I do think that he's somebody that should have a lot of wounds. I'm thinking more than 8 wounds, but less than 10, which leaves us with obviously only one number. So I'm thinking something like 9. 9 wounds seems fairly reasonable. An average leadership should be like 7+. And his OC, I'm thinking will make it like 3 or 4. We'll put down 3. So the Great Knarloc, I'm thinking, will come back with a 7-inch movement, toughness 8, 4+ save, 9 wounds, leadership 7, and 3 OC. Seems fairly reasonable. After that, I'm thinking that it's going to have an opportunity for 2 different types of guns to be on its back. The new Tangle Bomb launcher that has been introduced, and obviously the twin Kroot guns. So those will be the 2 options. We all know what those are because they're on the Krootox. But what I'm thinking is the big thing, which will be its melee capacity. So I'm thinking it's beak and claws. And obviously the guys that ride on it. Beak plus claws. So the beak and claws, new model, commander near sight. Pupil of the Great Kyle. The Great Kyle? Who's the Great Kyle? I would be down to actually make a commander near sight model though. That'd be something that's pretty cool, or just a model in general, or like the commander near sight model. I would be down to make like the melee crisis suits be that kind of model because it like you can give them the iridium armor. You can give them like okay. Haven't you guys seen that one like photoshopped the heck out of Pure Tide program? Oh, Pure Tide program. I don't watch Kyle Grundy too much. I must admit, Pure Tide program. The great Kyle. Oh, Kyle Grundy. That's it. Oh, the great Kyle. The pupil of the great Kyle. You know, he did comment on one of my videos some time ago. Rip Kroot bolt thrower. Oh yeah, you're telling me that would be cool to bring back though. Like I was so flattered once. Like I think Kyle Grundy, he commented on my Pathfinder uh, YouTube video, and that was probably like a big moment of pride because I had no idea who this guy was. I was like a little channel, and he was just another Tau guy. And so I clicked on his channel, and I found like all this other big stuff, like and really competitive things, and like various fun. I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cool. Little bit of fangirling out there, or a fan guavesing out here. So yeah, but yeah, darn sad that the bolt thrower isn't around. Maybe they'll bring it back. Who knows? But we're thinking Beacon Claws. I'm feeling he's got to at least have Power Fists. You know what? Oh gosh, because Strength 8 is like elite killing level stuff. When you hit Strength 9, that enters the realm of anti-tank. So I would, oh gosh. You know what, just for kicks and giggles, we'll give him his weapon skill. I'm thinking 3+. He's going to have his attacks numbered, his strength, his AP, and then his damage. His attacks, I'm thinking like 6. That seems fairly reasonable. His strength, I'm thinking 9, because he has to be stronger than his toughness. Let's be real. The AP, I'm thinking 3. And the damage, I'm thinking 3. Yeah, that looks like a fairly reasonable thing to have running around and chomping on all the enemy intercessors and terminators. I could see it. You know, I'm wonder though. Do you think that Mr. Puretide would be willing to make me his pupil, like take me under his wing, and so I could up my competitive Tau game, make better content for you guys? I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny, but I digress. So I would have to say though, if we were to have the Knarloc come back, the bolt thrower would be ideal as far as like one of the potential weapons to have on him. Though the baggage harness, I think, would have to be different because the baggage harness used to, at least one of the older data sheets I saw, he gave the ability. This is your Tau wish list. Mine is a new Vespid stuff. Well, especially a character. You know what? Just for you, sir, we're gonna cook up a Vespid character. What would a Vespid character look like? Just for fun. If I could find my erasers. Okay, so this is my wish list. We got a Great Knarloc. What would you want your Vespid character to look like? I'm thinking, if anyone knows anything from the lore, I'm thinking Vespid, Strain Leader. Vespid, Strain Leader. All right, so this is the character. We're going to give him, okay, so he's got to have a save, a leadership, a wounds count, we need movement, we need toughness, and we need OC. So his movement is obviously going to be 14, like all the other ones. 14 inches. His save, should we give him power armor? That's something I'm wondering. Or should he be a 4-up save like the rest? That is the question. Do the Kroot characters have a 5+ save, unlike their other counterparts, like unlike their typical battle line counterparts? Because if the Kroot characters have a +1 save, then I'm willing to give the Vespid character a +1 save. But if not, I'm thinking we're going to have to leave him at the 4+ with everybody else. Because that's how it's going to... Obviously, his toughness is going to be 4, like everybody else's. I'm thinking his leadership should be like a 6+, because he's the leader. His wounds count, I'm thinking a solid 3, because the other Vespid only have 1 wound apiece. I wish the other Vespid would have 2 wounds. I feel as though it would make them seem more like the beefy aliens that they are. So instead of, but sadly, if they had 3, if they had 2 wounds, I would be willing to give them 4. But I'm thinking only 3. His OC is going to be 1, obviously, because he's a leader, and his save. I think we're going to have to stick with the sad but true. It's going to be a 4+. Now his weapons. This is where I'm thinking we're going to be able to upgrade him a little bit, because for the Kroot sergeants and stuff, they have extra special weapons that the rest of their followers don't have. So I'm thinking for a Vespid strain leader, he should have a special neuro weapon, and I'm thinking we'll give him the special blaster. Blaster. I know I can't spell. I'm sorry. And this will be the range will be 18 inches like the other ones, I'd say. 18 inches. The weapon skill, or no, the ballistic skill, he should have probably a 3+ to make him better than everybody else, because, well, he's a character. And then his strength, AP, and then damage. The strength should be 6 because the other ones are 5, so this would be a little bit of a boost up. The AP should be 3 because the other ones are similarly 3. You should have a melee and ranged weapon options, so we have more play options with the current Vespid sheets. Yes, and many more to come. And I think that depending on which one that you choose from, you should be able to give out buffs for either plussing to hit in melee or in combat, or giving a different buff in that department. So AP3, and I'm thinking we're probably going to have to stick with, why don't we give him a damage 3 gun? Why not? That sounds interesting. It sounds like fun for his blaster. And then I'm thinking like a power claw sort of thing for his other aspect for his melee. It's like a Vespid power claw. VP claw. And it's going to have I'm thinking his weapon skill should be a 2+ just for kicks, because most characters get into melee have that. The strength, I'm thinking, should be 8. Definitely like a power fist level something. The AP should be at least 2, because all the other strain guys have AP -1, so at least 2. And I'm thinking the damage, we'll go back to a D3 damage. So yeah. But special ability, I don't know, because all the guns have assault, so they can already advance and shoot. I'm thinking, this would be good for rapid repositioning, because the Vespid already have an ability on their data sheet that allows you to pick them up at the end of your movement phase instead of at the end of your opponent's movement phase, or something like that, as long as they're not within engagement range, to redeploy somewhere else so you can get points. I think that you should be able to pick them up at the end of any phase, and then you can put them into deep strike reserves, so you can put them in wherever you would like upon your next turn. That would be a pretty cool rapid redeploy thing, and also fit in with the Tau as far as the guerrilla tactics go, or mixed with like our mobility and jumping around and not being able to be touched too terribly easily. So yeah, ta-da! Vespid strain leader. This is the ideal, I'd say, as far as what we would want for our capacity. Oh, he should grant scouts or infiltrators to the unit he is leading, in my opinion. That would be pretty good. Absolutely. You could set up like a little, what's it called? Like a honeycomb hive sort of thing. Just put a hive somewhere in the middle of no man's land. You get within so many inches of it, they pop out. A harassment type unit. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, okay, I noticed gameplay of the Vespids doesn't really match like the lore of what I find them to be. Because in gameplay, they're like tech pieces. They're like, oh, you get me like engage on all fronts or deploy telephone armors. Whereas like the auxiliaries, as far as the Tau use them, they're very much like not just meat shields, but they actually go and do work in melee combat. Like the Kroot actually have that. Like I can think of a time when I actually charged Kroot in, like in all of my past games. I can't think of a time where I'm actively looking to throw my Vespid at somebody to beat them up in melee. It also could just be because the Tau have bad melee, but it also could just be because the nature of like how they've been built or set up for people to play with them has been antithetical to like their actual lore perspective. This is one thing that I think GW has a hard time with, being able to make the lore match the datasheet abilities and stuff. So, yeah. Oh, the new Vivek. I didn't even read your name. Well, welcome, man. Thanks for coming. One of my patrons. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. So, my only question would be, if we've got this kind of flying unit, I wonder who they're going to be fighting against. The Vespid will be fighting against for the Kill Team box set that they'll be released in, and what kind of like terrain and stuff would come with that. Because I couldn't because it'd have to be something very much like flying oriented or like very up in the air. So swooping hawks. Oh yeah, that would be right, because we've been getting a bunch of new Eldar. Like we just had the striking scorpions, so it would make sense that the Tau could very well be fighting against the swooping hawks. That's pretty dang good thoughts. I've actually had the idea for a while now to make my Vespid kit bashed swooping hawks, mostly because I just love the Eldar look and aesthetic. You know, my best friend would love that. Yeah, we could split. That would be great. Dang, yeah, swooping hawks versus Vespid. That would be quite. Wow, that'd be. I've never played Kill Team, so if any of you have played Kill Team in the comments, let me know and how you feel about it and stuff. But that'd be quite like the high mobility like Kill Team kind of game. So that's crazy. Wow. Versus Vespid. And they could definitely use a model range refresh too, because I've seen what the swooping hawks look like, and they're nice, but definitely need the scorpion treatment, because the oh gosh, and like the scorpion like character leader guy, he looks so squatty. Oh, so bad. But they're gonna keep them around, whereas we lose on Va and on Chi. I'm more bummed about losing on Chi than I am about losing on Va. I wonder if they'll give a refresh to their models in the future, because that's something I've been hoping for. So for any of you who don't really know the On-Chi lore, I got into it a little bit when I decided to stop hating the ethereals, and he was the one cool ethereal that I really liked. And his lore pretty much goes like this: he is Viorla ethereal and has grown a love and appreciation for the Tau Fire Warrior cast. Yeah, he's low key chill, and he's kind of like, the way I like to look at it as like, you've got religious zealots for a cause, and you've got the ones that are just purely dogmatic and unwilling to like evangelize properly, and like can't understand why anyone would see a different way from them or like have any inter-religious dialogue or difference of the interpretation of your kind of religion. That's kind of like as far as the greater good interpretation goes. So he grows this appreciation for the Viorla Fire Warriors and like being a fiery up and close and personal like hand-to-hand combat level stuff in certain aspects. So he grows to like them, and in growing to like them, like he helps them out a bunch, and eventually is deployed to a planet that's getting attacked by the orcs. And because he's become a complete blade master and has grown very close with these other fire warriors, he leads the charge to attack and repel the orcs, and like so that the longer range guns of the fire warriors and crisis suits can be better utilized. And he pushes back and pushes back and pushes back the orc waves, leading the charge again and again until the reinforcements come in, and he's got himself and the honor guard like defending this little mining cave area, and he's saved. He's like, "Oh, cool! Now I can retire." And all the ethereal high council is like, "No, you will not retire. You're going to go out and talk to Commander Farsight, who's decided to dip out on us and won't actually play ball with us anymore. So like, we're going to take you and your Viorla guy, Farsight's a Viorla guy. You're going to go talk to the commander, and hopefully you'll be able to bring him back into the fold of the greater good." And so she is like, "All right, I got to go help this guy out." And like, best intentions, a wonderful guy shows up at this Tau planet to find Commander Farsight. He's like, "Hey, fellow Tau guys, I'm here to help." And there's like, out of nowhere, there's a opening in some rift, and a bunch of Drukhari pop out and start like stealing a bunch of Tau people, and he kills a bunch of the Drukhari raiders and starts fighting back against them and chases them into the Webway portal, where he gets captured and thrown into the arena games. And he was offered his freedom at one point in time by either abandoning or killing his other fellow Tau people or like followers to let them out of the pit. Like if he killed them or got rid of them, he'd be able to get out of the pit. And what was the last point in the lore when Farsight was mentioned? Wasn't it like 9th edition Arcs of Omen? Yes, Farsight was last mentioned in the Arcs of Omen books. That's precisely the last time. He had this whole vision of Khorne trying to possess him, and was like, no. So Anshi is like offered to like kill his guys, and then he'll be allowed to be free. And he's like, no, I won't do that. And all of his guys are like, yeah, you should just let us die so you can go out and live and be free. He's like, no, like the greater good will prevail. So like currently, unless Anshi is actually officially dead, like they said in the codex or something, like he's like sitting in these pits like outside of time and space because it's the weird webway stuff, waiting and fighting these gladiatory matches. So I could definitely see in the future like a reemergence from the portal of Anshi coming out and being like, hey, I'm back and better than ever. And he's like juiced and buffed, and he's got like a big old honor save and could go out and fight for the greater good once more. And he's got some weird like Dark Eldar shenanigans messing with his genetics that keeps him young so he can keep fighting for a longer period of time or something. That would be really cool. I would love for Anshi to be brought back in that way. Farsight is seeming more like a Blood Angel right now. Not gonna lie. Yeah, he is. He's got the red on. He's all about charging into the fray and just butchering people. A little bit of the black rage taking him over, the red rage of Khorne taking him over. I've seen a lot of really fun kit bashes of Farsight being like Khorne possessed and corrupted. So interesting stuff for sure. And as far as like the Angels of Death or the jump packs, Farsight definitely is veering from like the Wandering Ronin to the Red Angel of Death. Who will he serve, the Enclaves or Khorne? I wonder. I'd be so sad if they make him completely chaos in the future. I'd be bummed out by that completely. But I don't know. Who knows? Wouldn't be too surprised either way. It's funny since I play Farsight. My brother plays One Angels. Yeah. If I had a nickel for every time I had sent Farsight either to 1v1 Dante or Mephiston. The games player so bloody. Okay, I remember. This is a story way back in the day. Way back in 9th edition when the Tau had their 8th edition codex. This was a good time. And there was a thing that you could attach to your Tau crisis suits that was called an advanced targeting system. And the advanced targeting system made it so that you could have +1 armor penetration to your attacks. And everyone's thinking like, oh yeah, ranged attacks. No, it said to your attacks. So all attacks were -1 armor penetration, which was great because that meant that your Tau crisis suits could take that and would actually have AP -1 attacks. Strength 5, AP -1 attacks. What did I miss? All right, so we went through a lot. What you missed was pretty much boiled down to, I asked people about the detachments. We quickly got sidetracked. I decided to talk endlessly about a game that I played against my cousin. We decided to make up some data sheets for what we want a melee crisis suit to look like, what we think the new Vespid leader would look like, and what we think a Great Knarloc would look like, and a lot of speculation on the future. We checked out the Adeptus Custodes and why everyone's complaining so much about their data sheets being their new codex being garbage, and that's kind of where we're at right now. It's been a lot. So feel free to try to draw back to the initial thing that we were talking about and say what detachment you liked or prefer for the Tau. So yeah, or if you want a specific unit to be discussed, or like a dream unit that you would have, we could just write. I got a whiteboard. I upgraded. I got a whiteboard. We can do fancy things. Initially, before I didn't have enough time. Kroot, let's go. So initially, I was gonna just before anyone came in, make a big old what is this? And then like color all this in before anyone came. And then grab a red marker somewhere down there. Having no named ethereal characters is crazy. Yes, you're telling me. Are garbage. Yeah, the Custodes are garbage compared to us. That's why they're Custodes. They can pick up the garbage. And we're not garbage, so they can't pick us up. I keep forgetting how many people love Kroot. I don't understand why. Look, it's just something different and interesting. It's a little out there. Yeah, I wish. Okay, here's one thing that I find beef with getting rid of all our ethereal name characters and Long Strike. We should not have like all these characters completely gone. We need to have like a tank ace or something. You know what I'm saying? Or just like something more special about our ethereals than just the basic ones. There has to have like we have to have something to keep it a bit more engaging. Yeah, I miss Long Strike too. Keep it more engaging for everyone than just having like I don't like a tank ace is not that hard to have, you know? Like it's just you buff your other like tank commander guys. Like there's literally a freaking for the Imperial Guard, they have a tank commander, a Lehman Russ tank commander. Like, can we not have a like what's it called? Hammerhead tank commander? Long Strike doesn't even need to be the name of character. It could just be the title given to somebody. All right, I gotta blow my nose. I gotta be right back. Gosh, I feel horrible. Fuck. All right, and we're back. I'm better than ever. I've got tissues just in case I have to do this again. Actually, I got into an argument a few days ago. People were saying, "Looks funny outside your place." Yep. Commander in Cold Star, Commander Enforcer, Commander and Hammerhead. Yeah, precisely, precisely. Except I don't really know, would a Commander and Hammerhead actually be a Commander and Hammerhead? Isn't even the OP. Yeah, true, precisely. It's like, not like Farsight was like not Farsight. It's not like Long Strike was really bringing anything terribly devastating. Like I don't even know why they got rid of him. I mean, his model hasn't really been up on the site for an extended period of time, anyways. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just generally disappointing. Yeah. After drawing that, yes, I want to name Ethereal. I want to name Ethereal really bad. I'm very sad that Anshi is gone, and I would prefer that there would be, I don't know, some special character that we could have once more. You should get commanders of every suit type. That would be cool. Okay, that's something that I've heard a lot of people talk about as far as commanders for every suit type. Like, I've heard talk so much of enforcers potentially being able to lead uh, broadside units. I don't see any reason why not. Like, a commander is commander is commander. There's like he's got a 2-up armor. If anything, the enforcer should have like an extra toughness to make him a bit more beefy. Like I think that we're really missing out a lot on not being able to make our different suits have commanders and leaders with them, which really is why I'm bummed out that we lost the crisis suit commander because it's so iconic. And heck, even in the lore, we still have crisis suit commanders. Like literally, Arcs of Omen just came out like not too long ago, and we had like the 8. 5 of the 8 are in crisis suits. I think no, 4 of the 8 are in crisis suits. Farsight's got his own fancy suit. We've got a Riptide, we've got Oblatai, and then we've got an Enforcer. 4 of the other 8 are in crisis suits, and they're all commanders. Like, I don't know why would we have to get rid of them all? Honestly, if I want a Tau character that was really out there, I'd make a Tau human auxiliary. Yes, yes. Also a Psyker. That would be nice. Get us in the psychic phase once again. That would be so cool. The Tau crisis commander unit was what got me into Tau. Yeah, same, same. My entire thing was like I love my crisis commanders, like and but that what you're saying right there, as far as like Guevesa being a big thing, like in every single book that I've read, Guevesa are a huge they're everywhere, and that's the whole reason why the Imperium hates the Tau. Like sure it's Xenos, yeah, but also like you're making heretics of all your people. Like if you actually were serious about like playing out the Tau threat on the tabletop, you would give them Guevesa. I have a custom data sheet for my Cold Star commander, Nightbreeze. That is a human auxiliary. That is second. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. That's great. Like heck, even in the oh gosh, in the new book with Codex, what came out was they had a bunch of like they were they had this detachment that was fighting what the Guavesa identified as heretics, like other humans that were heretics, and they decided that it would be what's it? What is it? Like they decided that the Kroot, their guns weren't messed up by whatever warp witchcraftery that was going on. So they put a Kroot commander and Shaper in charge of commanding the Tau detachment that was fighting these heretics. But the fact of the matter is, you had auxiliaries, Guavesa auxiliaries there to identify that there are heretics. Like, why don't we have any Guavesa models? Like, where are they at? Where are they like identifying the heretics? Like, where like they're mentioned all the time. There's this one short story book where like it's a Raven Guard Space Marine is with some like special sniper human, and they're like getting hunted by Kroot or whatever. And like there's a human auxiliary who's translating for the Kroot. Like he's there right there. There's another one where they come to this planet. I forget what it is, but this is where Longstrike debuted for me in the lore. And they were conquering this planet, but they'd already like persuaded a bunch of the humans on the planet to like join the greater good. So they were all down with it. But no greater good human models, no Guavesa. Just it's so sad. Custom rules and everything took hours to properly balance. Yeah, I bet it took a lot of time to balance. It's hard to come up with your own rules that'll make it fair for everybody. Literally, the opening story of the Codex is of a water caste, a crew, and a human talking to a human to join them. Yeah, like where are the humans at? Like, look, the crew are fine. I got it. Like, it's a little fun. More aliens. That's cool. But the humans, like, they're everywhere. Like, why not have more of them in the greater good? I'm just saying, like, you literally okay. You know how there's different things that different armies can do to ally in other factions? Like, for example, there is a specific faction of Gene Stealers that you can ally in um, a, a fraction of the Imperial Guard to join your army so that you can have more. What's it called? So, like, you don't have so much Imperial Guard and that it's outweighing the Gene Stealerness of the army. But in the lore, there is a specific, like, Imperial Guard regiment that's been just, like, infected and infested with Gene Stealers. So that matches up. And similarly with the Gene Stealers, you can also have like the Tyranids ally in because like that they're summoning them, and like there's different points of time in conquering that the Tyranids will come and help the other like Gene Stealer cults overthrow the entire planet that they're on. So it's similar with the Tau. Like they are influencing and they are persuading people to join the greater good. And so when they join the greater good, they will fight with the Tau and they will use their human weapons. So there's no reason why we can't have a fraction of our army allied in as Imperial Guard. So it just doesn't make any sense to me why it's just not possible. Mixed with that, like we do trade with even the Votan. So why not ally with the Votan? Like we're the greater good. We're all about making friends with everybody. Why not do that? The Eldar are a little bit look up at their nose, down their noses at us, or a little nickname, just like, oh, we're so much better than you. So I can understand why we wouldn't ally there, and I can also understand why we wouldn't ally with Space Marines, even though we had against the Tyranids. But I don't know. It just I feel as though it would make it so much more entertaining and more fluffy if we could like align the Imperial Guard at the very least, or have like Guavesa data sheets because they used to have Guavesa data sheets. I looked it up and it was pretty much just like you could have your Imperial Guard, but their special weapons would be replaced with like Tau normal weapons or special weapons. Pretty cool stuff. And their like commandering officers would just like become cadres, like cadre fire blades. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we don't have Guavesas in. Like, see, this is how grateful we are as the Tau community. It's like, look, what we need is we need Tau auxiliaries. Tau auxiliaries, good, Kroot, all right, but not good enough. We need humans, humanity first. I have the Nightbreeze dash sheet on a boring Google slide. Hey, look, if you join the what's it called the Discord, if you could share your custom made Nightbreeze data sheet in the Discord, and everyone can see. And you can share it with everybody and get some feedback on it. And maybe it'll inspire other people to have their own custom commander data sheets, which would be pretty cool. I definitely highly recommend you to do that. Tons of fun, a lot of good feedback. Everyone there that I know or have interacted with in general is very positive. It's very nice. Link to the Discord. The link to the Discord should be in the what's it called? What's it called? It should be in the description of my channel. It might be out of date, so I might have to what's it called? Wow, gosh, why can't I re-upload another link? So I can just go check that right now. Let me know if it works. If not, I will just real quick live on stream, just fix it up real quick. But my parents will kill me if I get Discord. Well, in that case, I would suggest that you don't upset your parents. If you're still living under their roof and by the rules, I'd follow it. Didn't used to have guard allies? Yes, they did. There was okay. I'm just gonna look this up. I'll screen share for a little bit. Like Guevesa rules. Yeah, there were Guevesa rules. Or not 9th edition. Tau Empire, human auxiliaries. Yeah. Yep. Points per model. There were 6 points a model. Their weapon skill. Wait, really? All 3? T3? Okay, well, it must be better at this point in time. A squad can consist of 6 to 12 auxiliaries. Weapon options: las guns, because they're auxiliaries. The save was 5+, obviously, because they were still what's it called? Imperial Guard. Okay, hold up. Not bad. Regardless. Oh, that's nice. That's old. I'm trying to think. Trying to find the other one. Where's the other one I saw? Images. Aha! This. All right. Now I'll share, and I can show. Is there a way to zoom in? Yeah, nice. Alrighty. So here we go. It worked. Joined. Epic. Welcome to the Discord. We're happy to have you. Window. Chrome tab. With rules. Share. Okay, go. So this is what it used to be. This is what the Guevesa rules were. Also, check out that kit bash. That is sick. I just gotta say, I love it. Like they got the carbines, which is perfect because it's about the same size as far as las guns go. And stupid ad, get out of here. All right. So we can just look at this. And they have weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3+, which is crazy. I did not know that was the case. Their save is still a 5+, though. So warrior options, they can have pulse pistol, pulse rifle. They can have a close combat weapon, Guevesa. And they flak armor, photon grenade, special rules, combined squad, yada, yada. Yeah, so for heavy weapons teams, it's pretty much you get to steal the best parts of the small arms fire of the Tau foot soldiers, and you can take like the best parts of the special weapons and whatnot that the Imperial Guard have. So you really get the best of both worlds. And not to mention, this is just a sick looking model. I know it's a kit bash, you can tell, because you've got like the Tau legs cut off here, and then you've got the boots of the human auxiliaries underneath, and you've obviously got the human auxiliary chest protector, and then you've got like the Tau arms and stuff. But like this looks sick, and like they're little helmets with the antennas on it. Like I can't think of anything to complain as far as how this looks. It looks just absolutely great. Yeah. So seems all good to me. Not to mention, imagine just having a unit that you could throw into the fray and they hit on 3+. Just looks great. It's black for me. Gosh darn it. It's all black. Well, I don't know what to say. Shoot. Oh, it's back. Is it back? Okay. Can you see what I see? Can you see the Guevesa? There we go. Awesome. So here are the Guevesa. It fixed now. Awesome. Thank you very much. So here are what ideally we would be able to make and build and do. So I would love to have these be models, and you can take like heavy weapon teams and stuff. What raw energy is this? I would really love a healing unit like Old Ford. Really? Okay, wait, hold up. There was a Forge World Drones healing unit? That sounds awesome. Because I've been wondering that, because we've got Tech Priests and Tech Marines for the Imperial Guard and for AdMech and for the Space Marines. And then we have the the Forge Master, I think, for what's his name for the Votan. So I don't know why, like, what the Tau are missing in this, and why we can't, you know, rebuild our battle suits or our tanks or stuff like in the middle of the battle. I literally Earthcast models. That'd be awesome. We could bring another model to the table, which would not be instead of just pure the two casts that three casts I suppose that show up on the table are the fire cast, the ethereal cast, and the air cast whenever they're in planes and stuff. So yeah, like I don't see any reason why we couldn't have like Earthcast engineers like hang out like they're only allowed to be in our home deployment zone, but they can fix all the vehicles like that, or like, that would be completely awesome. I would love that. Also introduce like a more Tau, just more Tau, more cast system like working together in the field. Or you know, it'd be fun. Like beyond that, you could have. I wish there was like an ability for the ethereals of like called diplomatic relations, where you know how you have what's it called, like one-on-one fights, like where you can challenge your opponent to a 1v1 duel. It's like the ethereal does that, but if he scores a hit and scores a wound on your opponent immediately spins around and attacks the unit that he's leading. Like you were just that persuasive with the power of the greater good that he's like, yeah, I'm going to join you in the greater good, and just tries killing his own men. That would be hilarious. That'd be really cool. So just a thought. I don't know, like getting more cast interactions out there, but engine like Earthcast engineers hanging out in your home deployment zone and fixing all of your vehicles would be absolutely sick. And then like potential like watercast diplomats as a potential like unit that you can make. That would also be pretty cool. But there's a lot that the Tau could do. There's a lot more that we could expand on as far as like our casts and as far as the aliens and stuff go. And I think that 100% these auxiliaries would definitely be the way to go with that. Watercast can negotiate on a 5+ or something. It pacifies. Yeah, yeah. Like the pacifying effect would probably be something akin to like I don't know, like you can't shoot or like charge this phase or like I don't know. That might be a bit overpowered. To be fair, like the watercast would die on their way up. Like if any of you know, what's it called? There's this. You know, you guys know Ultramarines lore in general. You know who Cato Sicarius is, right? Like probably one of the biggest memes ever. That would be our psyker. Yes, that would be our psyker. That'd be cool. The diplomats could be like the psychers. Ooh, I can get down with that. But like Cato Sicarius, there's this book that's going on, and one of his guys, one of the older Ultramarines, is talking to some Tau chick, and she's like speaking the the High Gothic, whatever the Imperium's language is, fluently, and she's talking to this Ultramarine. Is like, hey, how would you feel like if you were like what pride would your would your Primarch really feel if you like killing just a small innocent weak woman of some other alien race? Like we only have respect for you, and this like pretty much propaganda nonsense, just trying to hold them off so she could get a pulse pistol out and shoot him in the face. Like, would your Primarch really be proud of you for all that you've done here? And then Cato Sicarius' response was yes, and just like bashes her in. That's kind of how I feel like our watercast diplomats would be. They could have like little pulse pistols, and like they could go up and just pacify the enemy. But like there's, of course, it'd be like a 1 in 3 chance they actually do, and the other chance is they just get their faces bashed in, like what Cato Sicarius did. Oh yeah, our Palatine, like Polite bears. Yes, yes, from I believe they're in the flying. What's it called? The whatever the naval, naval warfare is. That was supposed to be autocorrect. Citer? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the autocorrect. I'm dyslexic as all get out, so I'll never notice if you make any misspellings. I'm just so anybody in the comments, don't sweat it. But the polar bears would be very interesting. Also, I read in the new Kroot book with the codex that there's like Kroot worms. That is beyond weird to me. I don't really know what to make of that. If that's like hints of, oh, hey, we're gonna have Kroot worms be a thing. Because there's another thing that I saw some time ago, and it was these Kroot that like not these Kroot. Someone made a kit bash with pathfinders, and they had these little worm-looking things next to them that were auxiliaries, and like people talked about them being like psychic interrogation beings. Like, okay, like, is that where we're making these Kroot worms, like weird psychic interrogation beings? I don't know. I don't know. It just seems some of the aliens that could be brought to the forefront for the what's it called for the greater good will be a little wacky. I just yeah, I don't know. I would love for us to have one of those. Oh gosh, there's this one alien race that joined the greater good, and apparently it's like the size of like a titan, like a wraith construct, like one of the big ones, like the knights and stuff, and like the bigger than gorkanauts and morkanauts. I would love that to be brought to the table. Have a big titanic unit, like as big as a storm surge, but it's one being, just a big old beefy boy to come in and wreak havoc for the greater good. It'd just be hilarious. So yeah, I don't know. I do hope that we do get Guevesa though. That would be ideal. Ideal would be able to have Guevesa on the field, or just make it so we can ally with the Imperial Guard. I'm thinking of all the fun kit bashes that could come out of that. And okay, here's one thing that I saw some time ago. It was someone making a Guevesa Riptide, but what they did was for the kit bash was that instead of it being like just normal Riptide, was because it was for humans, they gave it human feet instead of the weird Tau feet thing that was going on. So they took like a Gundam and kit bashed it into like with Riptide guns and stuff. So give it much more of a human feel because that's how our almost like our mechs would be built if we were to ally ourselves with the Tau. They wouldn't make something that is like weird, like hoof angled feet that we're not used to walking on for our battle suits. It would probably be something more like our own human, with the joints and whatnot, as far as it operates for us. I saw someone make a hammerhead out of a basilisk with a hammerhead. Oh, that sounds sick. That's awesome. I've been thinking of taking a Lehman Russ and replacing its a gun with one of the ion cannons, like that the hammerheads have, which I think would just be absolutely great. Or taking a basilisk and putting like the Skyray seeker missile rack on the back of that. That would be a very like interesting, cool looking kit bash. The only catch is like the dimensions are a little bit off. So I don't really know how that would work. You probably have to add like drone port things of sorts in order to put on. So on the sides of it, in order to have the dimensions correct, so to actually be allowed to be played somewhat legally. So yeah, that'd be absolutely awesome. Okay, also I just realized this: the Storm Surge is in a battle suit. Did any of you guys know that? Was that just me? Because like apparently it's just a glorified artillery piece. Because it looks like a battle suit. It has legs like a battle suit. It darn shoots like a battle suit, but apparently it's not a battle suit. I don't know. It's just absolute. I don't know. Just give it arms. Give it arms. Close the top of it so that our guys can't get shot while they're piloting this thing. Make it a battle suit. Yeah, I knew, and I'm upset about it. Me too. I wish. Gosh darn, we gotta fix this. We gotta fix these storm surges out here. Get benefits. Oh shoot, that's right. I hadn't even thought about that. It doesn't get benefits of the retaliation cadre. I think it's because it doesn't have fly. Well, no, the broadsides don't have fly, but they are a battle suit. So, food for thought. But yeah, okay, that's crazy to think about. To be fair, though, how many times in the game do you guys have your storm surge up to the ideal target they're shooting at, like within 12 to 6 inches? Because more often than not, I've never played a storm surge, but if they're anything like my broadsides, they're sitting in my home objective, and like my home deployment, and they're not really coming out to play and hit anybody like that. So I don't know. Could just be me. Could just be me. So, gosh, oh, beyond this, all right, let's see. I recently built an entire crisis suit list, like pure crisis suit army list. The only exceptions for that were Farsight and a handful of commanders. So, if any of you watched my old crisis suit video and like the loadouts for how you build them and what you want, this will be the actual coming to fruition of what I have been planning. It has been in the works since I first started the hobby, and it will finally come about. I'll be able to have all of the squads of crisis suits that I could possibly want. I think though it only come out to 3 squads of each type, and I think I'm only able to fit 3 of each in. I think I could be wrong, because Yeah, because it's only three guys to a squad. So I finally gotten it all together, and the plan is thus: I will be able to. Oh, funny enough, I've been watching this stream and building my brother's Kit Bash Terminator engine. Oh, that's cool. Hope the building's been going well. Anyways, I digress. Maybe you should. Okay, look. Here's an idea for your kit bashing. Give the standard to a crisis suit. Make a crisis suit standard bearer. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, I don't know if any of you guys watch the Four Hammer podcast. My analytics say that a bunch of people do. So much super glue. How are you typing with all the super glue on your hands? I'm impressed. Anyways, I hope your computer isn't getting ruined. But they had they'll do their whole grading system on like Terminator and all the other factions on what the Terminators the other factions Terminators are, whether they're good or not. And the Crisis Suit came up as one. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of right. Our Terminator equivalent is the Crisis Suit. One glue hand and one glove hand. Oh, smart. One glue hand, one glove hand. So ours is the crisis suits, and I think there's like so much fun and interesting things that we can do with. I can tell you type super fast. You're like spamming Kroot earlier. That we can do with the what's it called with the crisis suits as far as kit bashing goes. I think that like a lot of tabards and like capes and stuff would be really cool to get to have going for them. And yeah, I don't know. I one thing that I do think that we need for Tau is like a standard bearer. And I know that the ethereals kind of fit this position as far as like giving a boost to units leadership. But one thing that I found in a lot of Tau lore and art and whatnot is not lore, mostly the art and even some kit bashes is the gosh. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like I'm just going to use this as an example. Like it's this Tau symbol, not this specific Tau symbol, not red. But you take this and it's on a long pole, and then from it you've got like antenna coming out of it and like different angles and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's this big symbol, but you've got all of the Tau antenna things coming out, and it's like a big old Tau standard. And that seems like pretty cool looking standard for the Tau to have. I think we should totally have like a standard bearer unit for it, or like add something into the Fire Warrior squads where they have like a Fire Warrior standard bearer. I think that'd be pretty fun and cool to have for the faction. I made it from the model of the month, Lollipop, and the full nice. Impressive kit bash, man. Also, I think a piece of cardboard for the flag. Hey, cool. That's real cool. But like, yeah, do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, we need a Tau standard bearer. Like, I've seen a lot of artwork of this, and I've seen even kit bashes of this, and it just looks great. Like, no reason why we shouldn't, because like we have to have something to plant in the center of the board and be like, this is ours. I think it could definitely like give like a OC buff. That's what I think it should do instead of like leadership buff, because the ethereals we have already give the leadership buff. It should be an OC buff because that's what Anchi used to have. Maybe I just want Anchi to come back and be a standard bearer for the Tau. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't know. I think that we're missing out a lot on what a lot of the other factions have, insofar as their special abilities and special weapons and unit and the war gear that they have. I think that Fire Warrior strike teams and breaches should have a special weapon similar to the tactical squad for Space Marines. Yeah, like a burst cannon. Yeah, 100% agree. Like, I look at all the other basic foot infantry of our opponents, and like you look at the Space Marines, and they have special guns that they can put on. Like tactical Marines, they've got like the missile launchers. They've got like they can do like frag or crack as far as like the grenade launchers go. Same with any of the Chaos Space Marines, because Space Marines are all Space Marines. They got a 3-up armor save, and at one point in time, they worship the Emperor. So after that, then you've got like your basic Eldari squads, and they have their special weapons and stuff too. You've got your Imperial Guardsmen, and they've got tons of special weapons. Like, we need to have like our boys allowed to carry around a burst cannon or something, or like a plasma rifle or something, because our plasma is safer. So like we're able to use it without incinerating one of our guys. Like or like a heavy weapons squad maybe added in. And I know that the Pathfinders kind of fill that as far as like special weapons groups go, but we need something like better than just popping up our little turret. And let's be real, whoever uses the little turret who actually has time to deploy it. We're always moving around so much that we're not stationary enough to actually have a turret. It would be better if we just had one guy with like a smart missile, like shoulder rocket cannon thing, you know, like, or you could alternate in between using missile pods or smart missiles, kind of like how the Space Marines have the frag or crack grenades. Yeah, I'm so nostalgic for the old Marines. Just 9 normal guys and 1 heavy bolter. Just perfection. Okay, I use the little turret, thank you. Well, yeah, I use the turret too when I can, but the mobility of our army just inherently makes it so that we aren't capable of being able to have the mobility like we want. So there is that. But anyways, I think that there's definitely a good way to go about improving the army and improving some of the basic foot soldier units. I think that they definitely tried doing that with the drones that we have, like giving the drones as war gear, similarly like the other bubble shield instead of a turret to force people to get us. Ooh, that would be cool. That would be real cool. I'm thinking like Star Wars level bubble shield. If any, you know what I'm talking about. Like, ever seen Star Wars Episode 1 with the Gungans? Like, yeah, it's like, all right, that would just be giving us a loan op, but not really loan op. Maybe it would have be like the void shields. Like, we get a certain number of like free fail saves or stuff. Yeah, destroyer style, absolutely. It's kind of Halo level shield. Yeah, yeah. I see where you guys are coming from. That'd be so sick. That'd be awesome. In order to improve the faction a bit. I think they tried doing that a little bit though with the Guardian drones. You know, as far as our bubble shield, as far as giving us a bit extra buffer against that. I don't know. I just feel as though, like, for the town, like, we should be packing more heat than what we're packing. Like, I get our basic infantry gun is better than everyone else's, but there's got to be some special weapons that not just the Pathfinders get a haul around. You know, like a burst cannon turret or a burst cannon like minigun guy would be pretty fun, or something like that. Hello, welcome, Drog Rose. Welcome to the live stream. We're happy to have you. We're just reminiscing about how we should improve the Fire Warrior our battle line, improve our units. Hey, you had a beer. Welcome, welcome. Hello. Hi, beautiful. I'm good. How are you? I'm live streaming currently. You want to say hello to everybody? No, you don't. All right. I love you too. Oh, sorry. I'm very happy you made it there safely. I'm sorry I did not respond. All right. Love you too. Bye. I'll call you back when I'm done. Darn it. Sorry, girlfriend. She's having a babysitting gig. So, yeah. Anyways, besides the point. Yeah, I know it's impossible for war gamers to get girlfriends, but somehow I did it, guys. Somehow I did it, and she's painting Darkstrider for me. So pretty cool. Maybe the Fire Warrior should have 3 special weapons: burst cannon, a better burst cannon with a longer range barrel and accelerator. Oh, so like an accelerated burst cannon, a fusion rocket launcher of some sort. That would be cool. Thanks for all you do for supporting the community. Uh, by the way, you're gonna have to head out to work. Best of luck in your work. Wish you the best. But have a good one, all. You too, sir. Thank you for tuning in for a little bit. It's been fun. So, yeah, I think that maybe not fusion guns. Well, maybe, oh gosh, I don't know. Might be like a Melta option. Have you ever tried to reach out to other YouTubers? I have not. I don't really know how I'd go about reaching out to other YouTubers. Have you guys ever like? I don't really know. I know that YouTube collabs. Like, that's one of my favorite things to see. Like, one of my favorite YouTube videos I got to watch was Bricky coming on and playing Tau Nick. Like, 2 of my favorite personalities getting to intermingle with each other. I don't know. I look at it and I think one collab that I'd love to do, or like uh, oh, that'd be fun. Quite other small YouTubers, I'd be down to play. I'm in America, so if I could like find them in the States and play a game against them, that'd be pretty cool. But what I'd love to, like, ideally, the end game goal would be play Morning Glory, like do pure infantry Tau versus pure infantry guard. But I love to collab with the other Tau content creators, but I find my issue being like I'm more fluffy than they are, and they're really competitive. So I don't. Oh, one YouTuber's brother. Cool. Um, so I don't really know what I would bring to the table for them. You know what I'm saying? Like the oh gosh, the Pantheon Studios guy. I like a lot of his stuff. I saw his recent live stream of him playing a game using the drone ports and the Tide Shield Wall, and it made me feel so happy because I remember making a video on like what can we do to make Tau fortifications viable, or how could they possibly be viable? And seeing him use fortifications like as a very competitive guy and actually making them somewhat viable, that was something really cool. But I I don't know what I would ever bring to the table for these guys because narrative battles always option. That could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'd be down for doing narrative battles, 100%. But like, so I which makes me think like other his YouTube name is if you're curious. I think I'll have to check him out sometime. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, narrative battles would be absolutely cool. It'd be great to do. I'd love to do narrative battles. Like what's it called? Like the mini wargaming guys, like with mini wargaming vault and whatnot. Those guys have a lot of really cool narrative things. They're so much bigger than I am. Like I'd love to reach out and like touch base or potentially like play games with or against a lot of these guys. But I don't really know what I'd ever bring to the table as far as entertainment values go because I don't know. I don't have a personality like Tao Nick. Like he's so much fun. Just like it just radiates off him. He's always hype. Yes, just talking about what got you into Tao and why both use like them. Oh, okay. Well, I gotta like I gotta. Oh, that is fair. We could do that. That would be fun to talk with other people as to why they're big Tao fans. So, um, Eons of Battle. Which one's Eons of Battle? I don't know if I know them. But yeah, that I think that would be fun. That would be more like a podcasty for sure. But I would not be opposed to that whatsoever. I think that'd be tons of fun to do. Uh, I don't know. Okay, guys, we can do. I don't know. Can I make a vote or something real quick in here? I feel like I don't know how to do this. Work live streams too much. Another wargame YouTuber. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to do a crossover event. I don't really know how to do crossover very much, but like make a video or do a live stream or collab with another YouTube channel. So everyone that's watching, all 9 of you, you get a vote. And since there's an odd number, there will most certainly be someone who wins. Let me know what other channel you think I should collab with, or like I should try to reach out to like do something with, or what you think would be good for my channel to interact with in some way. I don't know as far as like getting into the game or hobby. I'm thinking as far as one of the big guys for Tau YouTubers goes is definitely invasive wargaming, or I think it's invasive wargaming. He's the other Tau, big Tau guy. He's got like 14,000 some odd subscribers. So he was definitely one of the big guys that helped me get into the hobby a bit more. And I would love to talk to him. And I remember commenting once on one of his videos about doing like pure crisis suit spam, and he responded, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, a celebrity responded to me! It's so cool." Uh, Near Cypress, West Hammer. Start strong with Pure Tide program. Oh gosh. All right. You know what? That would be if I could challenge Pure Tide program to a game and play him. That would be awesome. I don't know where like what country he's in, so I might have to do like an online thing. So hey, Mr. Pure Tide, could I like have you on my channel? I'm just a small fluffy channel, and we could just talk what you enjoy about the game, why you got into Tau, and why you love it so much. Love the guy. His deep dives are so informative. Great if you collaborated with Invasive Wargaming. Yeah, Pure Tide program. Pure Tide program and Invasive Wargaming seem like the names. He's in England. Pure Tide program? All right. Gotcha. So what I'm going to have to do is when I go to England, uh, he's in the UK. Fun fact, he lives 10-minute walk from me. That's crazy. Uh, Leads to be specific. Also, I finished Brother's Terminator Ancient. Congratulations on finishing your Brother's Terminator Ancient. Leads to be specific. Gotcha. Interesting. I think what I'm going to have to do is we're going to have to make this American is going to have to make a trip all the way out to England. We're going to go to England, and as we're in England, Kyle Grundy, aka Commander Pure Tide, yeah, Pure Tide, Commander Pure Tide, and Commander Nearsight. Like I'll finally once I meet him, I'll be able to evolve into Farsight. I will no longer be so nearsighted. Or you in that program? Yeah, Edward Bailey. Are you in the program? What is the Pure Tide program like, anyways? Like, I always wonder, like, how these coaching sessions go for like the game and stuff. I don't understand. Not to diss on these guys or anything. I don't really understand as far as like giving coaching lessons for the game because I figured like okay, just pre-measure your stuff a bit more, or like know what the best combos are, or like prioritize your shooting a bit more. I don't know. I've always figured it was just like too situational to coach, if that makes sense. Like, do you guys get where I'm coming from? Hmm. Someone's in the program's awesome. Well, that's great. Never done it myself. I just know the guy. Oh, cool, 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 cool. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna have to go to England, do a Warhammer pilgrimage, check out Warhammer World, and while I'm there, meet Commander Puretide, gain some of his wisdom before I go out and find the Imperial Guard, Morning Glory, and challenge him to a game. That's what's gonna have to happen. Maybe I should start. Gosh, he does weekly meetups. Wait, really? Who does? Who does weekly meetups? Oh, pilgrimage. Yeah. What's that Warhammer World? Yes, that's exactly what the pilgrimage is. Of course. One is the quiz commander, where you get to ask him questions. Oh, that's fun. I assume that you'd have to be like in the Pure Tide program in order to actually, do what's it called? Like ask him questions and stuff and interact with them. Wow. Are all of the big 40K YouTubers like focused around the UK? Because I know that's where the game initially came from, so I'd assume that's where they all uh, like that's why so many of them are all there. That's real cool. Dang, quiz commander. But I have to be, I'd assume, one of the participants in his program in order to get. Oh yeah, oh gosh, midwinter minis. I've been I enjoy a lot of his videos, but my favorite ones of his are his like start collecting box tournament. But I tuned out once the Tau lost. It took me like 3 years to see the Tau battle report between them and the AdMech, and they lost. Bummed me out to no end. I hope he continues that, and I hope he finishes it out. I know he did this big project on making this huge Warhammer Titan. Six Spheres expansion UK edition, covering Morning Glory, Aspect Tactics, Pure Tide Program, Midwinter Winnings. Yes, precisely. That'll be the Six Sphere expansion going to UK. Oh wow! I don't think I'd ever be able to meet Midwinter Minis. Tabletop is in Canada. Yeah, yeah, true, true, true. And so is Mini War Game. They're both in Canada. Interesting. Tabletop Titans and Art of War are in the USA. Wow. That would be interesting to meet up with those guys. As far as another is demonstrations day where he plays against a subscriber in Tabletop Simulator and picks a specific lesson to talk about. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't have Tabletop Simulator though. I don't know how I would go about getting it. Mostly because my computer is an old Mac. So if you ever hear very like high fan noises, that's because it's breathing because it's dying because it can't keep a charge or stay cooled down. Yeah. Yes, you have to be in the program for most of them. Yeah, that makes sense. He does hobby hangouts where he's planning or building minis. You just hang out, do the same. Oh, cool! I wish I could do that with you guys, but I'm in college. Once the summer hits, though, then we'll hang out and build minis and paint and stuff together. It'll be a good time. Auspex is a very quiet, nice guy. Nice painting nights, and one of them is Dragon Age theme. Oh, cool! Nice. I've seen a lot of his armies that he pops up. Like every so often, he'll show off some of his big armies he has, and I'm very impressed with him. He seems like a fun guy to paint and chill with. Must admit. All right, so it sounds like the next sphere of expansion for. Oh, also like a fun little surprise. I got monetized. I've got the full monetization now. Woohoo! YouTube's paying me money. So I'm sorry if you ever see an ad. I am very sorry, but I'm a little bit happy for that. So that's pretty cool. Very tall person, but I am just short. Fair enough. So that's pretty cool. And so maybe with the ad revenue that I can get, I can fund the pilgrimage to visit all of the big Warhammer guys and players, and they'll be real hyped to see everything. Also, am I the only one that thinks that Tau stealth units should always be black instead of whatever sept colors are normally have? Yeah. I don't know. I like being able to paint mine up with their own colors. I think that Townick is a good idea with his like weird camo thing that he's got going on with the different sept colors that he has. Just me though. I honestly do recommend the program. If you miss a call. Everything is recorded, and you can watch them later. Oh, that's awesome! Ads. I have YouTube Premium, so everyone I watch gets ad revenue, as if I would have watched every ad. And even though it's yay, woohoo! Someone with premium is watching me. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Dark blue, since black is not necessarily stealth. True, 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 true. I feel you there. I've got mine like my stealth suits are these bright silver, so it doesn't really look quite right as far as being stealthy goes. Um, where dark blue is harder. Yeah, true. That's good. Good stuff as far as having a little reality and practicality in painting your models. I'm watching this on a school computer, and my school gave me premium. Ha! That's awesome. Oh, that's great. My school makes it so I can't always access all the things I want to on my laptop. It's just like the Wi-Fi or something weird like that. It's nonsense, or truly it is. Just get bored, want to watch a YouTube movie with no ads, but no, there's an error or something. Can't do that. Ad block to support you. No, it's okay. Don't turn off ad block. Ads are annoying, and I wouldn't watch anymore if I had to. Yeah, I'm sad. I missed most of the stream, but now I have 2+ hours to keep me company while painting on the other when the other stream goes to fair. Yes, isn't it wonderful? That's why I always like tuning in late to streams because I don't always participate in the group chat as it goes on. I usually just go to the very beginning, put it on times two, and it's like a race to see if I can catch up to it before it ends in real time. It'd be good to also meet other tile players and bounce ideas. Yeah, I think that you know what that is one thing that I've noticed that I'm a little bit of a dead end in being at college. Like no one else really plays the hobby around here. The closest game store is about 40 minutes away, and people don't consistently show up there, so it's a little bit of an issue. Not to mention like for video ideas, it's easier when I'm playing a bunch of games. Like oh hey, like there's something interesting that I want to try out. One sec, gotta blow my nose again, and to hide my face, I'm gonna. Whew. All right. This program would be good. Yes, because it's easier when you have other people with similar minds and similar ideas, being able to come out with more content for other people to think about. Because usually that's why I started this to begin with, because there were a lot of ideas and thoughts I had for Tao stuff, and like the YouTubers that I had weren't really talking about some of the things I was really interested in. So I was like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to like put out some of the things that I find interesting or want to do, so that I'll be able to bring that out for other people, so they could have, I can share my thoughts in that area if people are interested in that too. Um, present your list and talk to him about. Oh yeah, okay, that's something I've been wanting to do as far as like list editing because I've had a lot of interesting list ideas as far as like I love spamming things. If I'm going to take one thing in my army is going to be composed primarily of that one thing. Balanced lists aren't really something I do. There's got to be a theme behind it. So if I'm going to do like my battle suits, it's going to be all my battle suits, all the crisis suits. I'm going to do my infantry, it's going to be all my town infantry. It's going to be all my crew, all my breachers, all my strike teams, just maxing out on that. So yeah, I think that as far as list doctoring, that was something that Invasive Wargaming did that I really enjoyed watching of his. Like people would send him a list, and he'd be like, "Hey, this is interesting, this is good, but you know, I think I'd change this a little bit, change this weapon loadout, or add this in, or take that out, or have different warlord traits and stuff, or like have this stay all one theme." That was very, very good stuff. Bad news: I dropped my brother's ancient, and his flag shattered. No, my condolences to your brother's ancient's flag. I'm sorry. It is not an AZ, right? Um, just got a friend who should be going into college in the northern part of the state. Nope, I am smack dab 3 miles away from the middle of nowhere. If you were to find the United States, like the lower 48, obviously, just like point at the very center, and that is approximately where I'm at. I'm in the most Midwest of the Midwest. My local is actually a 15-minute walk. Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. 15-minute walk, that's nice. Um, face reveal when, or is that when you hit more subs? I will do a face reveal when I hit more subs because it's I don't really know when. I probably should put like a number on it or something because I like my privacy. You know, like it's I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably have to do it eventually. If I ever get into the tournament scene or anything, I'm not going to wear this around at the tournaments. So people will be able to recognize me based off of, well, like, you have an idea of what my head generally looks like and like my hair and stuff. And then I'm playing a certain Tau army. You'll know what my color scheme looks like. So I don't know. You'll see me there and you'll be like, oh, hey, I know who you are. It's like, oh, shoot, got to put the mask on. So yeah, it's just privacy stuff. I'm 21, but like on that same note, practically speaking, like most people are still kids at that age, and like sure I have a job that I work at, and I'm like doing college on my own and stuff. I know I have mommy and daddy checking in, but it's just kind of a probably later, definitely later, maybe incentive for later. That'll be the plan. Have you looked for local wargaming Facebook groups? No, I've not. I don't have Facebook. I'm not really on social media like at all. No Instagram for me. No Facebook. No Snapchat. No, none of these other things. YouTube is the only social media that I consistently have or use or anything. Yeah. Um, Last advert for the Pure Tide program, I swear. Anyway, it's fine. You know what? I hope Kyle Grundy comes over here and gives me some money for advertising the Pure Tide program to all my subscribers. Now everyone is viewing me. I need a. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'll read it off just for you. Anyone can join the Discord for free. That is true. I'm in the Discord actually for that. Then there are 3 different levels, and each level gets access to more stuff. Basically, $5, $10, and $15 a month. Kansas. Oh, how'd you know? Shoot, you know where I'm at. If you get big enough, you won't have to worry about hiding your face. All the big YouTubers have their faces known, but I respect your desire for privacy. Yeah, that's mostly what it is. It's also like yeah, I don't. It's a little. I feel as though I'm like a persona when I'm on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like if you ever meet me in person, I'll be pretty much the exact same person. Probably a little bit less energy because I'm a bit more timid and shy when I interact with real people. Unless we're playing war games together, then I'm a very very high energy. So if you were to meet me on the street, you probably wouldn't know that I'm the personality that I am online. Which I'm not really two faced. It's just like when I'm talking war gaming, I just have a different level of like hype and energy and talking to other people about it. But if I'm just like, just around, then it's a bit different. Yeah. Doxing and stalker suck. Yeah. I really hope I don't have any of those. I really doubt that I would or that I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm just some obscure YouTuber. I I play war games. I don't know. I am just sure stalk me if you want. Like you're gonna see me roll dice. Don't actually stalk me. That's bad. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. Oh God, my stuff is only done through Facebook or Messenger. Not a big fan. Yeah, sorry. I have Discord and YouTube. That's about all I do for this. Um, and if you notice, I like to always respond to all the comments that people leave on any of my stuff. So if you want to talk like that, I will respond in the comment section. It makes sense. If I knew someone had my face, I would lose. Yeah, less than a second. Yeah, absolutely. Thelma's double. Thank you, appreciate it. So the girlfriend painted this. I don't know if I bragged about this enough, or I did last time, but yeah. So she painted this. She took some time out of her day to do all the fun art things. So if you notice, like you got the different lenses for like the breacher helmet thing going on, and then if you get real close and personal, you can see that there are like she freehanded that. That is freehand. That was made like she own marker marked it up on both sides. Very impressive. And then she's got like the little line things. So I very much appreciative. She called in earlier. She was babysitting. So love her to death. Wonderful lady. She is. She put up with. Oh my gosh, guys. Decide to fall off. Yeah, yeah. If the helmet decided to fall off, that would be pretty bad. But no, I'm gonna dote on the or brag about the girlfriend for a hot second, if y'all don't mind. But it pretty much like she sat through 6 hours of me explaining Warhammer 40K lore to her. Yeah, yeah. I can't express in that moment. I was like, well, I'm gonna have to marry this woman now. No one else will listen to me for 6 hours to talk about 40K stuff. Oh shoot, Edward, have a wonderful night. It's 1:40. I hope you sleep well. Thank you for staying up and hanging with us, though. Um, bro, hit the chat. Yeah, I know, right? She listened to all of the 6 hours of 40K nonsense, and I haven't even told her the Tau lore yet. She looked at some of my stuff and whatnot, and saw like a picture of Shadow Sun. Um, was like, oh hey, do you want to like cosplay as this or something? Like oh, I could be Shadow Sun and you can be like some other guy or whatever. I'm like, wow, you're really into this. Oh, what time is it for me? Oh, it's like 7:40 out here. So yeah, just the general Midwest time zone. Yes, she'll to the real time, not the traders. Yeah, and I just so happen to love the traders. What can I say? So yeah, she's currently actually. How is it so bright out? Oh, I don't know. The sun's kind of just setting right about now. That's how it is for summer. Also, I'm in a classroom, so I don't know. The lights kind of aren't on though because they're motion detected, and I've sat in one spot for an extended period of time. So there is that. But yeah. Anyways, she's painting dark strider for me, so that's pretty cool. For me, it's like 5:40ish, and the sun is non-existent in California. What? You're kidding me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we all live in a simulation, and where I'm at in the simulation, the sun's rising and setting is all off. Hug that down. I'm on it. I'm gonna try. I'm hoping to make a list for retaliation cadre. Not super sure what I want to do for it. Okay, so retaliation cadre. Here are my suggestions for the cadre. You're gonna want crisis suits, obviously. After that, you're gonna want the suits that can get up nice, close, and personal. You're obviously gonna want you to have your stealth suits in that list. Heavy amount of that. From there, I'm thinking Riptides. Riptides are gonna thrive in the retaliation cadre because their guns are gonna get that extra little boost of strength 9, which will make it be start wounding certain tanks on fours instead of or vehicles on fours instead of fives, and anything that's T8 that it's going into will be much better getting threes instead of fours. Like having that strength boost is wonderful. Also, the AP boost will be good too, making it much more lethal capacity. I would say that if you were to bring anything that isn't a battle suit, top on that list would be Pathfinders, extra guiding capacity, and after that, I would say you would probably want Kroot for screening reasons. What color scheme do you have for your Tau? Standard Farsight Enclaves or custom? I customized mine. So what happened was when I first started painting for 40K, um, did the stream crash? No, the stream did not crash. I don't think. For initial 40K, I liked the Enclaves, but I didn't want my guys to just be all red. So what I did was I had this like there was this like start painting thing. It was a bunch of Citadel war paints, and the prominent colors in that little package that I got were all blue and silver and gold, and like there was some red, but it wasn't like the Farsight Enclaves red. So what I did was I just had mine be like a darker shade of blue, kind of like what my mask is. Like this is like if you look at my mask, this is what the color scheme I went for is. But for my commanders, I inverse the silver and the blue because like for Commander Farsight, his elite cadre, like they're all solid red. So I figured that like my elite cadre will be all solid blue, and everyone else will have like silver and like blue markings, whereas these guys will be solid blue and have silver markings to have a bit more of a differentiation between the ranking guys in my army. Did the stream crash? I don't think the stream did crash. 1K point retaliation cadre list: 3 Riptides, a Storm Surge, and Shadow Sun. It is pure perfection. Dang, I don't know how you're gonna make that work, man. I wish you the best. The Storm Surge is fine in retaliation cadre because I don't see them getting up close and personal. They're a nice, like hold down your home objective. And Shadow Sun will be good as long as you can keep her within 6 inches of each of the different units to have her do her whole reroll ones ability for everybody. I don't know what you're fighting, but I wish you the best in that. I play Farsight Enclaves, yet I have 4 custom commanders, and I have separate colors for their different detachments. Every commander gets a small detachment. Oh, that's cool. That's a nice thematic thing to do. We're thinking of doing Triptide, 2 units of stealth, 1 ghost kill, 3 groups of crisis suits. Yes, Cold Star, Shadow Sun, Farsight, and 3 broadsides. Dang, that is quite the beefy list. Yeah, that's a great way to go. The ghost kill gets a surprisingly good buff in the retaliation cadre. For example, like its abilities for being anti-tank become really lethal with the strength boost and the AP boost with Fusion Collider. I think it's really good. And it's also more geared towards that, I think, because the cyclic Iron Raker that it has is much more geared towards you sitting back farther, whereas the Fusion Collider is a very much short range gun. So, plus its movement and its lone op ability, you could just ambush real quick out of nowhere a tank or a transport and just melt that sucker and have all its juicy content spill out, and you could wipe that away with either your crisis suits or any of your other elite killing capacity units. Yeah, that is the issue. The Storm Surge is not a battle suit. It bums me out to no end that the Storm Surge is not a battle suit. I wish it was, but it looks like it. It acts like it, but it's not. It's glorified artillery, sadly. I'm just gonna do Triptide Spearhead right into my brother's poor dreadnoughts. I'll show him who's boss. Absolutely juicy insights. Yeah, yeah. Just I think that you'd be able to probably crack the dreadnoughts pretty easily. But here's one thing: like for our army, I noticed that like our mobility is great, so we can do quite the impressive force concentration on a specific flank. And once we've very well devastated and blown away that flank, we make it so that we can be mobile enough to leave somebody to hold that down and have the rest of our forces jump off into another section of the board to be very influential and powerful there, and have the long range firepower from the other suit still hang around. It says ads will run shortly for some viewers. No, skip the ads. I don't want my viewers to have all these ads running in their face. I appreciate them enough. Ad skips. I mean, at a certain size, kind of loses battlesuit status. Yeah, that is true. More. One dude is in that thing. Yeah, you can actually see it in the model. Like you can look down into it, and you can tell all the different. Like you've got like 3 guys working that thing at once. Uh, Usually plays with 3 dreadnoughts at 1,000 points. 1 redemptor, 1 ballistic, 1 brutalis. Dang, that sounds like a brutal dreadnought list to go against. Yeah, I put my money on the Riptides though, as long as you're able to shoot them from far enough away. What's the toughness on those dreadnoughts though? I haven't faced a dreadnought in a long time. How tough are they? Because like, I'd say that as long as they're like not T10, the retaliation cadre will be like with the Triptides is actually going to be pretty dang effective against them. Yeah, you'd have to give up if you played Iron Hands. Sheesh. All you have to do if you play an Iron Hands player is make jokes about how they're losing their head. That's it. Or you can't keep their head on straight. That's all you have to do the whole time. And then they will fold. They will lose out of coping and seething that their Primarch is dead. Oh, gosh. But yeah, quite impressive shooting for Space Marines for brutality like that. I would have to say what I would be very interested in is seeing a pure T10. Ooh, yeah, that would be pretty tough to beat the dreadnoughts if they're T10, and you're just, and you're the highest that your Riptide's guns are going to get up to are T9. Yeah, though the Storm Surge will be able to play cleanup, which will be nice. It does 12 damage flat with one of its shots, depending on which cannon you're taking. Anyone else disappointed the lack of lore in the codex? Custodes apparently got female custodes. Wait, what? And we're still stuck with the 5th. Wait, hold up. They have female custodes? Wait. When did that happen? Wait. Hold on. That's crazy. You have good taste. I too use blue and silver. Thank you. I'm forced to use Ecobuy Darkness. Yeah. I use Lead Belcher for mine for the silver, and I forget what blue color I have. These eyeless subcolors. Nice. Female Space Marines when? I want them. It's been blowing up on my Facebook group. Female? You mean Sisters of Silence? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I thought they were Sisters of Silence. Ghost Steel Fusion Collider can rip into dreadnoughts since they don't have an invuln. That is true. It'll be very, very effective against the dreadnoughts, especially with it being like strength 11 or 12 for their gun. Like the and with retaliation cadre, like the help of the AP will just shred any dreadnoughts 100%. It'll be really good. Well, hold up. Back to this. Female Custodes. I thought the Sisters of Science with the female Custodes. Also, this might be a hot take. You all can hate me. I'm not I'm not completely in support of female Custodes. Because like they have the Sisters of Silence and their own kind of cool thing. And we also have like or female Space Marines. We got the Sisters of Battle. Like, I don't know. I think that a very impressive female force doesn't need to be like, let's rip off the male force. You know what I'm saying? Like Shadow Sun is a pretty cool and impressive character. Like it's not like a rip off Farsight. Like she's a completely her own thing. Sure, they're all in the same faction, but yeah, I don't know. I think that like don't make female Custodes. Just make the Sisters of Silence actually cool. You know what I'm saying? Like actually usable on the tabletop and actually impressive. So yeah. But I don't want battle nuns. I want battle female knights. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Battle female knights. I can't argue with your preference there. If the storm surge was a suit, you could march into your opponent's army, and yeah, that would be so cool. If it was a battle suit, just D6 + 2 mortal wounds to everybody. That would be epic. That'd be nuts. No, they had a lore snippet where they had a custodes and used female pronouns for it. Huh. Interesting. Well, who knows? Maybe we're getting female custodes. Hope they like change the armor up for him though, because like I don't know, just interesting, interesting, interesting. That's exciting. If only males can become custodes. That means only one thing. Oh no, what is the one thing it means if only males can become custodes? Then what? Custodes trans representation. All right, all right, all right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be real clear, real quick. We will not dive into any socio-political things. Just for the sake of peace and avoiding political issues. Bruh, I saw someone kamikaze 800-point model for a 2d6 mortal wounds. I'm calling the police. Yeah, well, I probably would do that. I would try if my what's it called? If my storm surge is getting destroyed, I just throw them up into the front and just boom, blow them. That'd be awesome. Emperor's light, Emperor's light fair. Just how, yeah, just how. We're gonna keep the tower are the only ones that can be accepting of anyone else. That's it. Oh gosh. Oh, oh boy. anyways, I I've been thinking about some of the potential for like just auto detonating some of the different battle suits that we have, being able to spend the CP. That'd be pretty cool. Wait, the Montka 6-inch Strike Swift Scout move will work with Storm Surge, right? Yes, absolutely. As far as I know, the scouting 6 inches will work for any unit. So, and that's actually something that'd be pretty interested. Um, now I just wish Tau had some cool melee. I know we get Kroot now, but I really wish they could give some battlesuit melee stuff. Yeah. Oh, we talked about that earlier in the stream. We made our own little, the ideal Tau melee unit, and it was pretty much we brought the iridium armor back for the crisis suit, given him a 2-up save. He got the shield generator, and then he got like a weapon that was like hit on 4+. It was like mini fusion blades. So like 4+, 4 attacks, like AP minus 3 or 4 or something, and like D6 damage, just fusion blades. And then there's like a different strike attack where it was like strength 6. It was like a 6 attack, strength 6, AP minus 2, and then like D3 damage. So just like a half version of that, which would be pretty cool. I'd love to have that. That'd be really cool. My color scheme for my Tau forces are purple, orange, pink, and blue. They are known for being very zealous of a mysterious Tau deity. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I like the lore behind that one. And purple, orange, pink, and blue. That is quite the color combination. I really wonder how that pans out and works for you. Feel free to share that in the Discord. That'd be sick. That'd be great. As far as getting everyone to see all the different color schemes that you got cooking up there. In my opinion, I kind of want some sort of energy sword for them. Yeah, agreed. Like kind of like little fusion blade sort of thing going on. Kind of like a Halo sword. Yes, 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 yes. I saw actually a kit bash where there was like, oh gosh, I forget what the Halo sword is called, but it's a thing the elites carry around. But it was on the side of like a stealth suit. It had like a little fusion sword thing, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that would be tons of fun. But anyways, sorry if it was mentioned earlier, but did you get your hands on the new Kroot box and the full codex? I'm so glad they put enough protection between it and the sprues so the cover isn't all damaged. Okay, so here's the thing. I did not get the new Kroot box. I wish I did, and believe me, right now, more than ever, I wish I had the codex because there's so many things I want to look up and look at and make videos on, but I'm college, I'm not gonna have it ship here. I'm not gonna mess with all that like travel stuff. The semester's almost over. About to head home. I'm not gonna have an extra box shoved in the back of the car for driving and stuff. So the plan is pretty simple. Um, I will. I don't have it, but I would like to get it, and I'd love to get all the new Kroot stuff. But I had an opportunity to get Storm Surge, 3 Riptides, 10 Crisis Suits, a Cold Star, an Enforcer, 30 Breachers, 30 Pathfinders, uh, Broadside Battle Suit, and I think that was everything for $200. So it was that or the new Tau stuff? That or the Kroot? And oh yeah, also Ghost Kill, like unboxed, like not even built. Ghost Kill like was available. So it was that or the new Kroot stuff. And I looked at the new Kroot stuff and was like, you're really cool, but man, I'd love to have a Storm Surge. I haven't had 3 Riptides ever before, and the or a Ghost Kill or any of this other stuff. So yeah, I'll take all this. This is great. So I took that over all the new Kroot stuff. But I'm happy to hear that all your sprues were well intact, and they really did a nice job buffering between the codex and the new sprues, like in order to make it all arrive in a good maintenance and good manner. I wonder. I'm just curious, but do you remember the username of the people who talk to you on YouTube comments/streams? Yeah, I have a couple that I remember pretty well. I remember Lucas Hart. He is the first subscriber that I had, and he would like comments and like all of my videos when I was first starting out. So I remember him very well. There was like also like a Pathfinder. Like, oh gosh, I forget the numbers after his name. That was like Tau Pathfinder, like something 7. So I do remember that. I'm bad with names though. This is just kind of in general, which I feel bad about. I shouldn't be, but I am. So sorry if I don't always remember all the names, but I try. I try. Yeah, I'll post some pics when I'm done doing dishes. Awesome, perfect. Good luck on the dishes, by the way. What's the story behind the bases of your army? If I remember, they have a Tau symbol with purple and yellow as the base. Tau symbol for any of my guys, which is kind of a bad thing. I need to probably base them. That's fair. I hear lots of extras. You can get yeah, true. Bargain, absolutely best bargain I ever had. Message me in the Discord. I can send you pics of whatever you need from the codex. Oh, perfect. You actually, I'm pretty sure you can privately message me through Discord if that's possible. What is your name on Discord so I could just get that all figured out? I remember me how like that. Okay, Rin. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce your name. Rin from the comment section of the live stream. I will do my best to remember you just for you. All right, for the Discord, let's figure this out so I can get all of the data sheet things that I need. Ooh, bright light. All righty. No, I don't want to update different things like that. Hold up. All righty. So, Rips Space Pope, we knew you well. Yeah, follow just. Gotcha. I'll find you on Discord then. Oh, yeah. And, okay, you know what? I'm going to go turn on the freaking lights in this classroom. The sun is setting too much. I'll be right back. All right. Cool. Here we go. Perfect. And we're back. Looks like it's, yeah, I'm sorry. It was all the dark. They're like weird sensor lights and like turn off after a certain period of time. So we hit the lights. It's good. We're doing good for now. I wish I could like use my cursor to copy the, oh yes, I can. And see, now we're gonna find you over in the Discord. Send a friend request. Successfully, your friend request has been sent. Perfect. So I sent a friend request to you, so we can figure out coordinating to get all of the different pages for the book. Awesome. Okay. If any of you were in on the last live stream, I'm a mackerel smacking papist. I do love the Space Pope, and I do mourn him, even though I love Farsight. and love the Wandering Ronin feel, but I do miss Space Pope. It was very sad. I was thinking that I even for my kit bash of Enva, I did like 21-year-old Enva. Like I took a tech priest and I painted up. I gave him a ethereal head and like a big antenna and like had a big honor stave off to the side and his hand out for like the unlimited power hand from one of the tech priests like the electro priest things. So I made him be like just beefy young 21-year-old like hovering on disc like, oh, I'm coming to get you. Back in the heyday. But no, he's gone now. It's so sad. I was pretty nutty though, giving him that 2-up invuln. It was funny. I'm the only one who positions my armies in battle positions on a spare table. If I touch them, they fight each other wisely. If my mother allowed me to have all of my models in my room, I probably would. But no, I have a cabinet that I throw all mine in. It might just be you, Ren. I would be surprised if everyone else did too, though. If I had a room, I'd do that too. Yeah, yeah. If I was allowed to keep all mine in the room, I'd have them war over a cabinet space or over like a windowsill as I'm sleeping. Anva was a bad dude. He gave ethereals a bad name. Hopefully, he gets replaced by one of the ethereals that was the normal kind of compassionate ones that actually meant well, accepted and managed. Awesome. And message. Let's go. Perfect. I will wave. Whatever you need, and I'll sound that. All right, I will message you later to get all of the things for future videos. All right, so where was I? Oh yeah, I think personally, Anshi should be the successor to Anva. That is the only way that losing both of them would be worthwhile. It would be 100% worthwhile if we were able to have like Anshi come back out of the webway and be like Jack the New and like, hey, I've seen things, I've interacted with these other primitive races, and now I know how to spread the greater good better. Like, I don't know, evangelize some Drukhari or whatever the heck somehow, and come out, and then all the Ethereals like, oh my gosh, like you're amazing, you did all these things, like you are now the Space Pope. That would be the best way to go about it. Yeah. Tau would improve dramatically if they replaced Kelly as a main Tau writer. Okay, I don't know anything about the. I know the books vaguely, but not too well. Like Phil Kelly as the main Tau writer. What do you mean when you say main Tau writer? Is that like the lore or like the novels, or is it like the who writes the rules for the Tau? That's what I'm interested. I have had an army fight over a packet of instant ramen. That's funny. You know, if my guys were in college, they would fight over a lot of ramen. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. Do we have a Discord? If not, would you start one? Yes, the new Vivek. I do have a Discord. You are welcome to it. You can find it in the description of the channel. The novels, yeah. Okay, what has he done bad about the novels? Because I finished the Damocles Gulf Crusade one. That was the one where we have Anva, Shadow Sun, and Farsight all in the same thing, and Darkstrider shows up for a little bit there too. I thought that was fairly enjoyable. I didn't see any issue with it. Is in charge of the Tau lore, and he's turning them into a Diet Coke Imperium? What? We're becoming knockoff brand Imperium out here? Look. I like being the good guys in this setting. Being the good guys in this setting is fun. Like, it's real fun. Like, whenever there's a novel with the Tau point of view, it's generally written by Phil Kelly, and he really makes the Ethereals kind of cartoon villainy. Oh, that's so cringe. Why? Like, look, I'm thinking, I don't think the Ethereals are evil. Hot take, I know. I think that they're kind of like the definition of the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like, they inherently are. They're not evil. They just think they know more than they do, and they're doing a little. Oh gosh, they might be doing like a mini Emperor of Mankind thing of like not giving everyone the OG Tau forever. Yeah, playing the good guys too. We're the good guys. That's what we're supposed to do. I think like they can just be a little naive. You know, they shouldn't be made out to be like the Emperor of Mankind level. Like, oh, we know of chaos and we know of its inner doings, and that's how we manipulate people. But we just can't let the general populace know about them. They're all just weird aliens. Like, no, they can just be the naive, like happy Tau, like happy evangelizing human race of like stereotypical like, oh, we shall adventure the stars, like Star Trek level stuff, but realize, oh, we really need to armor up and fight these things because they'll kill us. I think it's fine. Naively optimistic. So yeah, overrated us being the bad guys. I see Tau as kind of an empire that is for the most part good right now, but will with time eventually just become the great oppressive power like the Imperium did to the Eldar before them. Yeah, it's possible they'll do something like that. Tau goodness they've shown off the like that. Yeah, a goddess. Yeah. I think to be fair, if the manifestations in the warp is how it's articulated throughout the lore, it's only natural that the Tau would eventually have a goddess come about, because if you evangelize enough humans or other alien races that have a psychic presence in the warp, then it's only natural that there will be some form of worship. And humanity in general, like let's be real, in the real world, like we are inherently religious. We all worship something to some extent. It's just like it's just natural. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like actually a religion. It could be like material things or whatever. And like we focus on it enough, and it eventually is what you spend your time with is what you worship. It hits a point like that, or yeah, I suppose. But besides the point, besides doing anything philosophical or political, like in the game, it's pretty well played out. Like what the humans spend their time with and obsession with is the greater good. So not logically, like they worship the greater good, and if their psychic presence in the warp will make manifest what they worship, the greater good. So it's an interesting way to create a god, really. Like your faith in the god is what makes it real. Makes you wonder if everyone stopped believing in Korn and Zeech and Nurgle and Slanesh, if they would all stop existing because you stop fueling them by your belief in them. I'm pretty sure they're setting up Shadow Sun to be like the champion of the Tau goddess. That would actually be pretty cool. Oh my gosh, they're giving me an idea. Brilliant idea. Stroke of genius, really. They're setting up like Farsight to be the champion of Korn, and they're setting up Shadow Sun to be the champion of this like greater good goddess. It's quite the interesting dichotomy, really. Which is sad because I don't want Farsight to go evil, but I don't know. I don't really know what to make of it. But that's kind of funny to think about. Like we've got champion of greater good goddess, and then champion of murder man Korn. They'll come back together and duke it out or something. I don't know, but yeah. This is one thing I find interesting about 40K as a game to play and as a universe in general. It really makes me wonder how well you can advance a game that is inherently geared towards all the factions being fairly stagnant. Like how much evolution can you have? You know, like the Tau Goddess saved the fourth expansion, and it stated when it was seen, it was the composite creature of all the races in the Tau Empire except for the Tau themselves. Wow, that's funny. It's like, hey, I am the goddess from your existence, from what you have propagated, but none of you actually partake in me. Oh my gosh. It must have been quite the bummer. Tau aren't human. And at the end of the Exodite ministries, when the Eldar was mocking La Mocha, saying they'd go bad like the others, she was rebuffed, and she rebuffed him with, no, we're different. True. No, we're different. We're better than that. We're built different. We don't have any presence in the warp. We can win. It's possible. So, yeah, I'd be very fascinated to see how this all pans out. It might give us a psychic unit in the future if the Tau goddess, like the greater good goddess, becomes more manifest. Would they do that after giving Farsight a brand new updated model? Very interesting point. Would Shadow Sun got a new model? Farsight got a new model? Would they make him the champion of Korn and her the champion of the greater good goddess, and then have them duke it out? Probably not. This is probably like way down the road, because we got to remember, like, what's it called? Games Workshop is a corporation. They're all about making money. As much as we enjoy the stories that they cook up, we got to keep in mind that we gotta, like we gotta keep in mind, like they're planting seeds for things they can change and ruin, but it'll like sell models in the future, so we can enjoy the cool looking Farsight model now, while he's still good before he goes corn corrupted. Much as I'm a loyalist, his model is sick. Yeah. Oh yeah. It is one of the coolest looking models, and everyone that a lot of people I've dialogued in the comments with is that like they love the new Farsight model and wish all the Crisis Suit models would be updated to look like him now, which I can't really disagree with because it's a sick looking model, and I wouldn't mind all of the Crisis Suits having a look kind of like his. But I do like the old Crisis Suits. I'm not gonna lie. They're home to me. What can I say? They're first models I built. If they were to make oh wait no, I'm just worried that what the internet will do to the goddess, considering that they already do the town. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's one thing. Like, I love this game. I love this community generally. Some of the things that people come up with should not be thought of. I remember I was like surfing through the internet once, as one normally does, to like find inspiration for my Tau art, like for one of my Tau kit bashes or factions, and I found like, oh hey, this Tau Sisters of Battle thing looks really cool. Let's check this out. And then I saw some fan art of something I wish I could erase from my mind. The things people come up with, really. And like, I remember I was when I was first getting into 40k, I was like tentative to like actually fully dive in to like the faction of the Tau, because I remember I watched like Tau Nick play. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I started looking up Tau videos, and like one of the thumbnails I saw was one of the most provocative images of like a Tau. I was like, do Tau women really prefer like human men? I'm like, what is this? Uh, the internet is a horrible place. Should not be spent too much time on. Should not dive too much into it. If they were to make a psychic unit, it'd be mad. I'd be mad because I think my custom data sheets are better. Fair enough. What if they just copy paste your custom data sheets, Ren? Then what? Then what would you do? Would you be happy about that? I'm sure. Like Korn wants him for sure, but I doubt they would give us a new model. Yeah, for immediately they can join the blood. Yeah, and then immediately they can join the blog. That is true. I'd say this like decades and decades down the road. And it might be like certain models that they had, like for the Blood Angels, they would have guys that were consumed by the Black Rage, but you'd be allowed to play them pre-consumption of Black Rage and post-consumption of Black Rage. So it could be something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, they're not going to do a completely new model for Farsight for that anyways. Not to mention like all the rules. You'd have to practically create a new faction. It would be probably a lot of muddiness. It would be more coherent to the faction if they just made Farsight and Shadowson both champions. Yeah. They could even do another version of one or both, and it would be the same situation as the Blood one. Yeah. Fair. Like an ascended form of sorts, like not Demon Prince. I suppose it would be Demon Prince now, wouldn't it? The internet renditions of the Tau girls are the third reason I went Tau after being the good guys and the mecha suits. It's like, hey, we're the good guys. We got mech suits, and the Tau women are attractive too. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Angels faction that has two versions of the same captain, different points of the story. Yes, precisely. Some people are just Slaanesh corrupted. Yeah, you know what? That's true. Some people out on the internet do just be Slaanesh corrupted. Some of them are in the greater good, sadly. Games Workshop doesn't help. Have you seen Shadowsun's waist to hip ratio? No, I have not. I've seen her battle suit model. I have not seen her waist to hip ratio. And okay, I'm going to get a little biological for everyone out there. Men love a good waist to hip ratio. I'm assuming it's all guys in the comments because like I've looked at my stats on YouTube and it says it's all men. So no women will know. No one will get offended or anything. But like men like a good waist hip ratio. The thinner waist and the wider hips just more attractive. And if Games Workshop decided to go that route with Shadowsun, it's horrible. Truly, it is. I just love that. If any of you guys have seen Emperor Text to Speech, they've got Kitten, the custodian, is like that's not canon. It's like he loves like Shadowsun or whatever. As his girlfriend got his heart broken or whatever. I think that's hilarious. Memeing is fun. Memeing is good. Oh gosh, Tau women do seem to make something awaken in some people. Yeah. Is it just Tau women? Why is it Tau women, anyways? Like, We don't even know what they really look like. Let's be real. Like we've got like general art stuff, but like Tau aren't that attractive. They don't have noses. Is that just me? Like they just don't have noses. They look a little weird. Like they have flat faces, and I don't know. I don't know. They just have less muscle mass than us. Like, what makes you think they're going to be that like physically attractive? Um, those people do need yes, those people need to be sent to re-education. Like, welcome to the greater good. Look at all these hot Tau women. Now we're going to take you to re-education camp. Oh my gosh. Oh, what the heck? It shut off again. Okay. Text to speech and be like, this is not in canon. True, true. Anime characters don't have noses either. Wait, what? They don't? It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Oh no, are we just all weebs? Who here watches anime? Oh gosh. My model of Shadow Sun has a helmet instead of her face. Yeah, yeah. You know, I prefer hot take. I know there's apparently some big debate or whatever in the community whether you should have helmeted people or non-helmeted people. I lean on the side of not of having all your guys helmeted, mostly because it's stupid to get shot in the face as you're flying around, but also because like I can't paint faces for the life of me, so I just do helmets. It's easier. Yeah. Oh, beam to it. Yep. Yeah, Shadow Sun is too smart to go into combat without a helmet. Yes, yes, facts. Big brain. Also, it helps her with her like deceiving people on like where she actually is in the battlefield and what she's actually up to and what she's doing because that was how she got the one Raven Guard guy because she was like flickering around in her iconic battle suit, and then the chapter master for the Raven Guard was, oh, there she is, goes to kill her, kills decoy, incinerated by Shadow Sun and goes to kill. Good stuff like that. I love all the 3 heads she has. Wait, she has 3 heads? I just picked the helmet to avoid having to paint. Yeah, the arm. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. I feel you there. Wait, what are her other heads? She's got the one head that has like her hair like in the wind. She's got the helmet. What's the one in between? Does she have like a visor or like vision goggle thing going on? I have to check this out. Shadow Sun. Shadow Sun. Different heads. I'm afraid of what I'm looking at. Oh yeah, she's got one that's got the visor thing going on. Yep, that's cool. Yeah, but I do concur with you, gentlemen. She is much too intelligent to go out into battle without a helmet. Yeah, it's goggles. Yeah, face, helmet, visor. Good stuff, good stuff. And her hair is tied up in a bun. Oh, that's pretty creative and fun. I hate how we can't even have achievements as a race. Like every time I mention how Shadow Sun took down a chapter master, there's always a Space Marine player coming out of the woodwork to downplay it. So there's so many chapter masters, like they die all the time. It's not that impressive. It's like okay. Helmet, no hair. Helmet with hair, no helmet, long hair. Ah, yeah, precisely. Yep. How many chapter masters have all the other races killed? Probably way more, to be completely honest. Except the Votan. I'm willing to bet the Votan haven't killed a chapter master yet. So, yeah. Our is good. I like our It's good stuff. I remember I read this one book where it was like this Raven Guard Space Marine and this like Imperial Guardsman sniper who were like getting hunted by these Kroot. And it was just like one of the most terrifying things I ever had like described through audiobook form. I was like, yeah, and then they ate them. Oh, great, cool. Like, yes, we like your eyes. Your eyes give us better vision, and we were able to do all these things. And then the Imperial Guardsman was like, he noted that the Kroot kind of had an accent like that of like his fellow people on this planet. I was like, oh gosh. I love the Kroot, but man, they're really weird and messed up. I like this is why battlesuit lore I find more interesting. Like the Kroot are fun in the game to make melee Tau a thing. The Kroot and lore are absolutely freaking terrifying. Never press on images when you search for Commander Torchstar. Yeah, I remember. If any of you guys watch Adeptus Ridiculous with Bricky and DK Diamantes, DK is obsessed with women with 6-packs and abs. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the spawning of why Torchstar has certain appearances now. If you look online, I do not look up Torchstar. I do not look up anyone that's a female in 40K on the internet except Shadow Sun but only for video, well, like pictures for my videos. Other than that, not happening. Not happening at all. Posted some of my most recent models on the hobby section. You can tell that my focus is more on bases than painting. Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you got a preference for bases over painting, that's fine. It's just fine. Sword Star is waifu material, though. Also, she has a flame bikini. Oh, no, no, no. Well, that is how I see people painting her. Yeah, yeah. I wonder why. I wonder why. Certain people, like I said earlier in the chat, are a little bit of Slanesh touched. Just a little Slanesh touched. By a little, I mean a lot. A lot Slanesh touched. All right. Oh, hey, this is cool. All right, I'm going to share with everybody. I'm going to share my screen real quick so everyone can see what our dear friend just posted in the hobby section. All right. Let's see. Chrome tab, hobby section. Share. Ta-da! Hey, check it out. Isn't that pretty cool? I like the big skull base on the broadside. That's pretty impressive. I like it. Yeah. And then Shadow Sun's base is pretty cool. And then whatever the Ghost Skill's stepping in. Pretty nice. I'm impressed. Yeah. What is a life without a bit of Slanesh, though? I'll tell you, probably a bit more better for one's non-existent Tau soul. There is such a thing as debauchery, and and Slanesh knows it in spades, and I would avoid it like the plague. It scares me. Like just oh hey, that was a Gene Stealer, not Gene Stealer. It was like a Tyranid that the Ghost Kill stepping on. That's pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it. Anyways, that's pretty nice. I'm impressed. No, Slanesh bad. Yeah, a friend printed out the skull and the ghost skill is stepping on a Tyranid. I got as a model. Nice. That's so cool. Very good. Hey, Slanesh is more than debauchery. It is chasing perfection, enjoying yourself in other ways too. Yes, but if you notice, like the enjoying yourself, like the enjoyment of yourself in along the journey along the way made the freaking Emperor's children like tear out their voice boxes and put in like electric speakers. I can't. That seems not like perfection. Like there's a level of vanity that I think Slanesh holds on to, and like the Drukhari do. Like they'll turn people into couches, like for Slanesh. Like that's not perfection. That's just evil. That's horrible. Maybe I just like the good guys a little too much. That's probably it. Maybe I'm a little sore about like when we had a cultural exchange with the Drukhari, and to keep Slanesh at bay, they turned a bunch of our guys into like grotesques or whatever. All Slanesh worshippers, we indulge ourselves in plastic models. You know what? Okay, you got me there. We enjoy the masochistic relationship between ourselves and Games Workshop. Oh gosh, paintings are your favorite part of the entire hobby. Yeah, good for you, man. Like, I wish I enjoyed painting as much as you did because I like it. It feels very like edifying and very like fulfilling when I finish it. But oh man, it feels tedious some days when you just have a lot to paint through. And I don't know. I wish I found more joy in it. Probably because I overbuy and then I realize, oh my gosh, I have so much I have to do. Yeah, that's why all knife ears in the business end of the railgun. Yeah, absolutely, of the rail rifle. Painting is my favorite part of our hobby, dude. Good stuff. My favorite part of the hobby is the kit bashing part. I love coming up with some wacky things to put together. Like my pride and joy are my crisis suits with their capes and their swords. Yeah. Like kit bashing is so much fun. It's like the remodeling and stuff. Like really impressed with what a lot of people come up with and like a lot of respect for it. Like I don't know. And 3D printing stuff too. Like I wish 3D printing was more acceptable for Games Workshop because it makes it like I don't know. It shows the creativity and fun takes that other people like about what they've created. Oh, over 7,000 points to paint. Whoo, way too much gray. You know what? I got a similar issue. It's my points like about that many points, but it's not gray. It's all prime. I just need to actually get down to painting it all. I'd much more down to kit bash if the models weren't so expensive. Oh gosh, yes, yes. Fair dwarf is better. Yeah. I remember I kit bash to cut corners for costs. That's why I made my Bulgrim Krootox guys, because I wanted to have it so that I wouldn't have to spend so much money on the Krootox individually, and I just have the Bulgrim, and they look cooler, and they're more up-to-date models and sculpts and stuff, and I could just make them Tau auxiliaries. So yeah, I gotta blow my nose real quick. No face reveal yet. Whew. Alrighty. Okay. Gentlemen, I think we're going to have to call it soon because I've been at this for about 4 hours. And man, the time has flown. I've enjoyed all of your company, I hope you know. It's been great. And I'm sure it's very late for many of you, or not late at all for others of you. Nice. Also forget how they were so desperate to give Votan lore, they stole our ability to make technology just to make them look cool. Yeah, they freaking nerfed us. They made it look, they were like, yeah, your technology for railguns and stuff you just took from the Votan. Pain. 3:26 at night. Lol. Oh my gosh. Sleep, boys. We need sleep. Bed at a reasonable hour. Just might be me though. So yeah. But anyways, it's been fun. Feel free to like, subscribe, all the fun jazz and whatnot. I love that I average like 8 viewers throughout the entire time because it's like I have the 8. I'm Farsight, and there are my 8. So looking forward to you actually stream. Me too. I'm hyped. I'm gonna post the video that of me taking pictures of playing against my little cousin, and then I've got a request to make a video on how I feel about the different crisis suits being split up. So I'll be doing that soon. And as soon as I'm done with school, we're gonna be doing all of the fun, battle reports that we can. Good night, mate. Oh, that's what that is. Play some RimWorld. Best of luck in your RimWorld. Hope it's fun. And yeah, I got a cookie clicker edition. Oh my gosh. No, not the cookie clicker. I remember seeing kids in grade school do that so much. But yeah. Anyways, I digress. It's been fun. I'll wave to you all goodbye and wish you the greater good, and that your day goes, or night, or morning, or whatever the heck the time zone is for you, goes for the greater good. And I'll reach out to some of the other YouTube channels and see if other people would be interested in doing a collab or something. I think I'll call it at you too, Rose, you too. I think I'll call it at like 3:45 for the hour mark on the little thing, just to wait and just wave goodbye to everybody. And if you haven't commented or anything, feel free to like throw something in as a farewell or a goodbye. So all the fun things. But yeah, in the meantime, I think I'll like draw something before I hit end stream in the next 2.5 minutes. Yes. Good night, one. Good night, all. All right, let's see. What should I draw for like the last 2 minutes for everybody? Any suggestions? Anyone have any input that they want to throw my way? Yeah, no. Oh wait, I got it. I challenge more in glory to pure infantry combat. I'm coming for you, Mordian. I'm coming for you. I'm thinking, that one meme. Come for you, Hassan Piker. I'm gonna kill you. You mean in like not in real life? In real life, I'm gonna kill you. Come to your house. So we're just no, I'm not gonna do that to Mordian. But yes, this is it. I challenge Morty and Glory to pure infantry combat in the event that I ever get out to England or something, UK. So yeah, I know he was here recently for some Comic Con, not Comic Con, Adepticon. That's it, I think. So yeah, we're coming for him. That's the game plan. We're eventually gonna get Morty in, and we're gonna beat him with Tau, even though he loves his pure infantry guard. We're the true superior race, and not the Emperor's true finest, the greater good's true finest. Yes. And with Guevesa auxiliary masquerading as Tau, as Kroot, to defeat all of his you got what I'm saying. But we're coming for him. Yeah, this is gonna be great. Woohoo! Yeah. That'll be great. Maybe I should make this the thumbnail. That would be funny. Anyways, yeah, we're coming for him. It's gonna be wonderful. Maybe I'll get some tips from Commander Puretide on how to fix everything up. Anyways, you know what? I can't believe y'all are still here. I told you I was ending in a couple minutes. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging around. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope your night goes for the greater good. Or wait, better yet. I got it. This will be the closing for the evening. I hope you have a greater good night. Aha! That'll be fun. Anyways, you all have a good one. And I'll catch you guys on the next stream or the next video. And feel free to leave any likes, comment, subscribe, and anything you like for anything you'd like me to make video on in the near future. So anyways, thanks. Bye. But I digress. I'm sorry, I forgot it. But I digress. I'll remember you, Ren. I'll remember. I'll do my best. But I digress. We're going to take on Morty and Glory, but I digress. Anyways, I'm done. We're out of here. Good night, everybody.